Hello everybody and welcome back to Laurence Plays, and it's a Wednesday, so we're going to be taking another look at Factorio Fun Mode. And last time I was messing around with this ridiculous recipe over here, the what was it called? The very advanced soda processing that takes in seahorses and coal and red circuits and green circuits and sulfuric acid and steam and produces solid steam and grape fish and water and blue circuits and forbidden grape juice, tar, distilled green, Fanta and pretentious water. And then I had to try and deal with all of that, and I managed it through this ridiculous spaghetti of pipes that's going on around here. And just after I got it finished, somebody reminded me that I could have used the underground pipes, which instead of linking off in all four directions like the normal pipes do, only go in one direction, and so that would probably have been quite a lot easier. Two directions, and so it would probably have been quite a lot easier, but oh well, never mind. If I need to rebuild it, perhaps I'll do that. So hello everyone, hello Mark, hello Boardeasy, hello Zalus, hello Regular, and hello Xfred. Welcome one and all, good to have you here. And so, right, oh yes, I left myself some notes as well. So this is the whole area that was to deal with all of the byproducts of the blue circuit production. So down here we're using an unboiler to turn the blue circuit juice into actual solid blue circuits and some fish, which we're then separating out over here. We've got some fish going through from up here. We are pulling out the bubbles from the pretentious water and then using that with the Fanta to make more blue circuit juice, so that's good. And then down here we've got to, oh yes, then we're turning some of the any of the any of the tar that comes out, we're turning that into into what's name patches, but only when I don't know what this cable's for, but it was for something, and we'll work it out in a minute. Because there's something else you can do with tar. Oh yeah, down here we're turning tar into cola, and then we're turning cola into lubricant, which is and then down here we're turning lubricant into solid lubricant. There we go, like that. And this is an unboiler, so this is going to require a supply of coal to come to it as well, because it'll need to be fueled. So we'll need a belt coming in there. And then we're going to have a supply of fish coming out from here as well. And then we're using the control on that to come up here and then tell this when to stop working. Okay, so I think what I'll do here is I will program this guy to... in fact, were you doing... Yes, you're doing an all belts. Let's make you filter to just disposing of fish for the time being. And then the other side, and then we can have one... Oh, no, we can't do other side because this isn't space... This isn't Planetary Pioneers. So... I mean, I can still do other siding, but I have to do it like this. And then there isn't one for the inserter, so that isn't going to work at all. Let's just dump everything out here and then sort it afterwards. What's the worst that could happen? Right. Okay, and then then it occurred to me that I'm not going to have remotely enough cola coming through here in order to make the amount of lube that we're going to need. And so I was reminded that, hey, you've missed out one of the stages of oil cracking. I mean, sorry, soda crack. No, forbidden grape juice cracking. So over here, I've done the basic one with basic soda processing, where I'm taking in the juice and making the Sprite. And then I did the ultra advanced one down here, where we're doing everything. And I missed out the in-betweeny one. Not that one, not you. I missed out the in-betweeny one where you had to bring in juice and water. Oh, water too. That's unhelpful, but okay. And then you produce the grape fish, the Coca-Cola, greasy orange juice and Sprite, and then you need to deal with all of those. So that's going to be interesting. Yes, there is going to definitely be some fun here. Hello, Quago. Welcome. Boardeasy is on episode 31 of the Angel Bob's run. I'm glad to hear the microphone does make things better. I'd had a few people telling me that I should upgrade it, and I'd been sort of resisting it because I hadn't really been. I didn't think the headset mic I was using was that bad. And then I switched over, and yes, there is an enormous improvement with the new microphone. Right. So, how are we doing here? How much? Okay, so we've got. Despite the fact that we're making a certain amount of tar. We've got 900 Coca-Cola here, which we're going to need to turn into, 900 lube. Okay, that's not too bad. And then down here we can make 900. Actually, we might not need this stage. So let's go and get another unboiler and another greenhouse and get this up and running, and then try and work out what on earth I wanted the solid lubricant for. I'm sure there was something very important, but I have absolutely no idea what it was. So hopefully up here somewhere, bonk, I did just steer straight into that, and that's even with the improved driving mechanics researched. So hopefully up here I'm going to be making greenhouses, unboilers, stuff like that. I don't know. I might be. Oh, yeah, there we go. There's the greenhouses. Oh, am I? I've not put in enough roboports yet. Right, and enough pylons. Or the roboports have not been placing the pylons. Probably because I haven't got the roboport network out to where the pylons are made, which is here. So let's finish off this, and then we'll be able to actually start playing the game properly because we'll have bots set up. So, yes, come back bots. There we go. Oh, and I need to do bot breeding. That was one of the things I was working towards. I remember, because at the moment I've got like 5 construction bots in my robo system, and I've got another handful in my pockets. So we're not don't really have full roboport coverage, should we say? But I am going to need another roboport up here somewhere. Let's stick it in there, like that. The bots should do that one for me, and then that'll get me the greenhouse placed. And there is an unsteam engine there, a solid steam engine. Am I actually making unboilers anywhere? Let's find out. No, I'm doing processing units unboiling, but I'm not actually making unboilers. Okay, let's try and find a place to make unboilers. And making an unboiler is probably silly. It's copper and boilers. Okay, well we have boilers being made because they're required for a science pack. So they come in along here. Where do they come from? They come from up here. And what did I say goes in with it? Was it copper and boiler? Unboiler, that guy. Yeah, copper and boiler. And I could put it here. It's kind of gross, but then this whole playthrough has been kind of gross in a sort of a... I've not been thinking too carefully about exactly where to put things. So let's do that. Let's put that there. And then feed it from there and there with some power that's going to come from that. No, not that. Sorry, that's going to need to be a long inserter. Let's try and get things right, Laurence. And then in here, we're going to make unboilers, which we're then going to put into a red chest that's going to go here, and load it in like so. And I'm going to be lazy, do it like that. Right, there we go. Yes, yes, Zarlus. They're split up into sort of series to give the playthrough a little bit more structure. The idea being that sort of the first series I think was Norvis and its moons, and then the next series was half a dozen planets, and series 3 is the next 3 planets, stuff like that. So it gives it a bit more structure, and it means you can sort of split things up a bit, and people don't feel like they're watching something ridiculous when they see a series that has 300 episodes in it or something ridiculous like that. I can cut it up into blocks of sort of 20 to 30, and it feels a little bit less over the top when people are considering if they want to start watching it. And it gives me a good excuse to then put in some extra videos for things like previously in the last series we did this, in the next, and we're going to go off and look at these planets and that sort of thing. So it makes it I feel it's quite nice from that point of view. Because it splits things up a bit and gives it a bit more structure essentially. All right, so there we go. We can start making the unboilers. No, I don't have any of those. We'll need to wait for that to be brought over from wherever those come from. It's somewhere down here, I think. I haven't got bots turned on the map. It's quite possibly that bot. Yes, that bot has just picked up the red chest. It's going to bring over to here to get the unboiler. And then when it does, it'll bring it down here. We'll have that, and then we will have the solid lube stuff coming out. That'll be, and won't that be nice? So in here, you can see we've now got 60 lubes in the output, and we just need to solidify them. And that's going to require coal, as previously discussed. So let's bring some of that in like this. Where am I on? Okay, that's right at the top of the bus lane. Bus lane. Let's put that there. Yeah, there. I'm concerned that this Ujimawatsit is going to be in the way. In fact, this Ujimawatsit is definitely going to be in the way. So let's move you to up one to there, and then I can use underneath the doop. Yeah, that'll do, and that'll get me that'll get that brought in there. I'm going to need to do the same to get rid of the or to take the solid lube away. So we'll come all the way over here, and I guess we'll go out beyond here. So we've got water. Yeah, oil, get water, so it'll be here. Just inside this cliff, which is... Yeah, I need to make some more cliff explosives. And now to have some... now I'm actually able to make bots, I don't mind quite so much if I blow some of them up, so we can start removing cliffs properly. Although not these cliffs, because they're too close to the factory, but I can remove this one. Right. Never... I'm not sure what signs I'm making saying enough, but okay. Yeah, the... Oh, I thought you were going to say that I was going to talk about... Yeah, yeah, I think the way I'm trying to structure it, and I don't know how well I'm doing this because it's a little bit difficult to sort of remember to do everything at the right time in the right videos. Although now as I'm scripting them a little bit more, it should be a little bit easier. One of the things that I'm sort of trying to do is get... is have a video at the end that talks about what we did, and then a video and our thoughts about some of the planets we've been to, and then the video for the beginning of the series that will talk... No, sorry, the video at the end of the series will talk about some of our thoughts about what we did, and then the video at the beginning will talk a bit more about just about what we did on a very, very high level, and then a bit of what we expect to do in the next series. That's the sort of the intention. Why am I able to make cliffs? That's ridiculous. Let's not do that. Okay, so we know how to make bots, and we know how to make construction bots, and then we know how to breed bots. We need to breed bots is just feed in logistics bots and construction bots. But I don't have any logistics bots at the moment, so I need to make one of these. And then we can just start breeding them, and then we'll have plenty. So it's Seahorse, Advanced Circuit, Flying Robot Frame, and Flat-Headed Box Gizmo. I don't think I've made Flying Robot Frames yet, so that's probably the thing that's preventing me at the moment. Here we go, this one. And that's batteries, electric engine units, and Greel and electronic circuits. I'm pretty sure I'm making batteries. I suspect it's the electric engine units that are the struggle. Batteries? I'm sure I'm making them, I just can't see them at the moment. Maybe they're further down. Or further up, to be honest. I've not stretched the belts all the way through. I'm fairly sure I'm making batteries. You know, I could do the search. Yes, I have 6 machines making batteries. What's wrong? Oh, they're just all the way down here. Right, so we have the batteries. And I need Greel and electronic circuits. I've got the green circuits, I've got the Greel. I just don't have the electric engine units yet, I think, and that was because that required the solid lubricant and also a chemical engine. Pump engine, locomotive engine, Spidertron engine, chemical engine. There we go, so that one. So make some of those. I've got all of those ingredients, and then we can just straight up start making those. So those take 10 seconds to make, those take 10 seconds to make. Let's do direct insertion. Yes, Pioneers is... Planetary Pioneers is very, very, very nearly blind. There are possibly a few things that we've discovered that we know about that we probably shouldn't know about, but we've accidentally found out one way or another. But in general, yes, it's very much trying to do things as with as little foreknowledge as possible, because that's much more interesting. Right, so you're going to be making chemical engines. That's that one. That needs 4 inputs, one of which is a thing that needs to be made. Okay. Then you're going to be making electric engine units, which is 3 yeah, okay, that's fine. So I can have a belt coming along here with the 2 inputs for that one. This is the easy part. Belts come up to here apparently. So we'll do that, and then that can come along there and out here. I think I've probably moved up further than my bus really needs me to, but never mind. We'll deal with that. So there's my inputs and outputs for that one. I'll put that there because it doesn't need to be further out than that. Then over here, I've got 4 solid inputs, although one of them is pipe, and we don't need iron. Oh, we need iron and gears. Okay. I mean, normally the bus doesn't come beyond here, so I'm going to put in... yeah, if I put in... I'm going to need to head down there to get rid of that rock, because if I do it from up here, then things are going to go badly. Because as we all know, rocks in this game are surprisingly dangerous. You tend to find insects hiding under them, is basically what I'm trying to say. Oh, cool. I'm... When you say coming in from Dosh, you mean I presumably mean I was a recommended video or something, because as far as I'm aware, I'm not aware of him having done any shout-outs for me, but if he has, that'd be really nice. I feel he's a somewhat larger player in the Factorio space than I am. Right, so if I get rid of all of those, I need to be ready to do this. Ah, there we go. Okay, that was less terrifying than expected. So I'm also then going to want another couple of these, and I'll put them, actually I'll just put them right here and here. Yeah, that's okay. If I put them there and there, and then I can have my iron come in like that, and then feed out my gears. So here we're going to be making gears and pipes. And I'm going to assume this one machine is going to be enough because I'm pretty sure it is. So we feed the iron in like that, and then we feed the output parts out like that, and then we feed them in there. We're also then going to have a second belt bringing other ingredients in like that, and then that's going to be those engines. Feed those through to here. Some more inputs coming in from there, and then and going out like that. I need another one of these guys. And my car's in the way. Alright, I'll just move the car. Fine. And that powers just everything in the universe, as far as I can tell. That's pretty good. Apart from hooking up all of the inputs, which is the big task. There shouldn't be quite so much of this. No. Let's have this come up this way. So that's just iron. I don't need to do any funny business with that one. This has two things coming into it, so we're going to need that. And yeah, that's a good enough spacing. As long as there's sort of gaps of one all the way along, then I'm pretty sure my standard undergroundings layout will work. So do that, remove that, and that can come out over here. Right, so now I just need to work out what I need. I know I need iron, which is this one. That comes all the way down to here. Oh, and it comes out on the other side. Fine. Well, we'll do that with a red splitter. That comes out here, and then loops round. Actually, we don't need to. We use yellows for this because they're cheap. Comes around there, and that's going to get in the way of this one. So maybe I am going to need that to be further away. If I miscount, no, that is right. I just miscounted over here. Right, so I'm going to move this up another square because otherwise we're not going to be able to get these inputs into place. So we'll do that and that. So apparently, oh yeah, when it comes from the other side of a bus thing, it's not enough to leave the gaps like that. Right, so what were the other things for this motor? We need the solid steam and we need the grill. Okay. No, solid steam. No, I know it's grey, but then so are quite a lot of other. Here we go, solid steam. All the way down here, like this, under the roboports. This is all fine. Oh, the bots didn't get frozen by time. Frozen in time, if you will. I'm not sure if that was as funny as I thought it was. No, that should still just be a belt. There we go. Okay, so that's that one. And oh yeah, and the grill. Grill being short for green steel, as we all know. So under that pipe. Pipes are silly. Brings all the way down to here. And then once again, break out like that. And this one can just come straight across because it's not worth faffing around with undergrounds for that short of a distance. Right. That's everything here. Yeah, all the inputs belts have got something going into them. Then here we have the green circuits and the solid loop. So the green circuits are easy and nice and close. So those just come down here. And as usual, just split them off and bring them in. Boop. And then the solid lube that's this. Yes, that's this one. Oh, I haven't got coal for the solid lube unboiling yet. That's something I need to do. It's going to have to go there. And there. And there. Right. I think that's now done, apart from the, actually building everything, which is going to be the slow and slightly frustrating part. Oop, no, let's just make that. Oh no, except for that that coal belt that I just literally just mentioned. We should go and deal with that. At this point, I quite like to have that blueprint shotgun that some mods give you, but I don't. I don't have it, so I can't use it. There we go. You're going to need to go there, so I'll put you underneath all of that. Or at least remove all of that. No, let's put the underground belt in, otherwise I'll get very confused later when something doesn't work properly. So do that, and then, right, so we need, oh no, we've got, I've placed the coal belt, kind of. It just hasn't got any coal on it yet because it's too far away, and we're trying to, yeah, the belt hasn't been built yet. That's the problem I'm trying to imply. So we finish that off. No, I have like 500 of these belts. Let's not pretend there's a shortage. Right, there's the coal. That's lovely. This is, I don't even remember what this is, but I feel like I might as well try and place it by hand because it'll be a lot quicker than waiting for my bots to do it because I only have like 5, 6, whatever it is. There we go, so we can do all of that. And then let's do the grill as well while I'm here. We'll let the bots do the red belts because I've got yellow belts selected at the moment, so that's going to be easier. Oh, they're doing it miles away. Great. All right, I'll help with the red belt. That's probably going to make things a lot more, a lot less frustrating. There we nearly go. There we go. Right, so now that's. Oh, there's a yellow splitter in here. Let us make that not be the case. So I'd like that to be a red splitter, please, because then we can get a full belt of iron coming through here instead of a half belt, and then we can ride this back down again and go and look at it and look at the whole thing in a very, very confused way and try and work out what's going on. So this is in a silly place now, but never mind. We're not worrying about that just yet. So we've got the green circuits in. That's a start. Here comes the iron. That's going to allow us to start making the pipes and the gears, and not the engines, because we're still waiting for other ingredients to arrive for those, like the grill you see there. Is this a grill I see before me? I think so. And then some steam coming down there. Right, this is sort of going quite well. Solid lube does indeed sound very good. Maybe it's a really, really thick petroleum jelly of some sort that only really starts to become liquid once you warm it up by running the engine a bit, which is going to be absolutely terrible for the engine, of course. But it's the best I can come up with. Well, I suppose some sort of greases do stay in a. It's not solid. It's a jelly or sort of a goopy greasy thing, but they're then the sort of solid. That's the best I can come up with anyway. Right, and here comes the lube. La 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 la. In it goes. How much lube do we need here? 15. Okay, that's a silly number. Oh, and a fish has arrived as well. I forgot to filter the fish. That's filter of fish, not fillet of fish. Those are very different things. Okay, so come along here and go nope. And then go... Instead, we will put in a splatter. I'm going to put it here because I want to have a decent amount of space on here for the... I shouldn't have done that so soon. For the lube to fill up to send an appropriate signal out of that cable, and here we're going to send the fish off to the left. Yes, like that. That's good. I'm just going to steal that. Could probably put it back in here. Oops, probably put that back in here. There we go. Do that, and there we go. We can now split out the fish. What am I doing with fish at this point? I know roughly what I'm doing with fish. Any spare fish are being brought to here. Are we doing the full upgrade from here? I think we are. So you're creating normal fish, yes, raw fish, which are then coming down here, going onto here. Oh, and they're just being taken straight away to be made into nuclear fish. Right. So the only upgrading, we're not doing fish upgrading. I've lost my fish. Here they are. Here are my fish. I'm not doing upgrading from scratch here. I'm just doing upgrading of whatever comes in along here. This is fish. Oh, no, that's the main fish input. This one. No, not that one. This one. Yes, it is this one. We've got high tier fish coming in here, and by high tier I mean fish 5, and they're being upgraded to fish 6, 7, 8, and probably 9. No, what's going on over here? I was just making fish 2, 3. Okay, I take it back. No, we are doing fish 4 to fish 1 and up over here as well. We're just feeding most of them out to be made into nuclear fish. I don't know if that's the right decision or not, because I'm only going to need another 1,000 or so high tier fish, but that means a lot of earlier ones. So yeah, we'll have to see. Ha! Yes, it would be quite appropriate if the splitter was actually called a splatter. It's not. That's just me being me. But yes, it would be very entertaining if it was. Anyway, this belt here is my fish disposal belt, and yes, does sound like a slightly weird thing to say. So I will. Oh yeah, there's jellyfish on there. Grape fish on there. They're not jelly. They're grape. Oh wait, does it matter that I'm putting them on a different side? It probably does. So let's undo that. I'm going to have to put in a splitter or a splatter here, and then run this round here and in there like that. Yeah. Because I think the the grape fish being on the other side is a deliberate thing, because we're feeding those out through here where they're not actually being used up particularly to go into here. Oh, they're only being for making fish 9s, and we're not making very many fish 9s, so yeah. Okay, fine. But I still need to extend this to here, and then this to here. And this is going to have the same problem, so I'm going to put in a splitter there like that to make sure they stay on the far side of the belt. Okay, so that means we're now feeding out the lube, so that's good. The lube is flowing, as we would like to see. And we can do this to actually do a bit of proper fish disposal. Oh, how adorable! My other 4 construction bots or whatever we've got are trying to lay some belts for me. Right, so that's that sorted. So the reason I was going through all of this shenaniganery was in order to make some of these the electric motors down here. Oh yeah, I need to clean out these fish. That sounds more violent and sort of knifey than I intended to. But yeah, there's going to be a few fish coming through here on the lube belt. So we'll stand around here for a moment or two while we tidy that up. And meanwhile, we'll get some electric motors coming. Ooh, that was a nice cool breeze. So the temperature is still absolutely ludicrous over here, but I've got the window wide open, which means the neighbours are getting to listen to the stream for free, which they probably absolutely hate. So if you can hear this, sorry about that. So next up is going to be to make the flying robot frames, because I need those to make 1 logistics bot. So you know what? Maybe I'll just make one of those by hand. Let's go and get 2 batteries and an electric engine unit. There we go. It does seem a little bit ridiculous that I have to make literally 1 robot, but we will see. Maybe I've missed something. Maybe it's going to come up with something silly later. Maybe I'm going to require authentic, genuine, non-bred bots in order to virgin bots, if you will, in order to make something in the future. Although I don't know how it would track that. I've walked straight past the batteries again. Why do I have so much? There are the batteries. Oh, it's because they're not really on the bus. They don't do very much. They're just sitting there like that. Right, so I can now make a flying robot frame, which presumably means I'll be able to make a logistics bot. Oh no, I need 10 flying robot frames. Okay, let's get some more batteries. I still think that doing this, pocket crafting this, is going to be the way to go. But if bots are that expensive, I guess that explains why you have to, why you'd want to breed them. So I'm going to need some more. What am I going to need? More engine units. Okay, that's fine. We can get some more of those. No, so it turns out, I guess maybe construction bots are boys and logistics bots are girls, or vice versa, because you need 1 of each in order to breed them. Where's the recipe? Here's the recipe. You need one of each, and it'll potentially make extra bots of either type. So we'll see which. Well, we'll just set it running basically. Okay, Zarlus. Well, enjoy the Planetary Pioneers, I guess, and hope maybe we'll see you again for a future stream. Thanks for dropping in. Okay, oh no, these are fairly slow to make, which is mildly annoying, but it's still... I suppose I could have dropped down one of these offshore assemblers, because they're a bit faster, and just hand-fed it, but I haven't, so we'll do it this way. However, in the meantime, I will start setting up a system to automatically breed the bots. So I'll put one of those in there, and one of these in here. And you know what? These things can request to have a quantity of bots in them. So if I tell this to always have 20 logistics bots and 20 construction bots, then presumably it'll always pull them in, and I'll be able to do this for my bot breeding. And there should always be enough. There's a slight risk of having problems if they all clear off somewhere, but I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I suppose technically there's also a a possibility that it'll jam up completely with the logistics robots. But we'll burn that bridge when we come to it, as they say. And by they, I mostly mean I, because I don't know if anyone else says that. I don't think I put concrete in a logistics chest. That's a mistake, because we need a lot of that for, well, building things. So down here would be a good place for that, I think. Are there any red chests? No, there's no red chest nearby. So let's drop in a red chest here and load it like this. And I guess it's going to, or alternatively, I could put them on the other side and then I won't have to bother with just putting down another pylon. So over here, we don't need a huge amount of concrete. Let's just have 2 stacks of it and let that fill up from here. And then we'll be able to build that down there. I think my personal inventory still has some... Yeah, I've still got lots and lots of offshore assemblers. I just don't have any of the concrete to build them on. So hence the 8 pieces of it down here. So once a bot comes over with that piece of concrete, we'll then be able to build that immediately. And then, how am I doing with... Okay, I've nearly made enough flying robot frames. I will then be able to make a whole logistics robot. If I have the seahorses for it. No, I don't know. I don't have any flat-headed box gizmos. Let's find a flat-headed box gizmo then. I feel like they're needed in all kinds of stuff down here, but I still don't see any. Probably in... Ah, here we go. Yoink. I would like to have 1 logistics robot, please. It feels absolutely ridiculous that making making one single bot is going to be enough for this, but it is. So yeah, it will indeed. Yes, it will indeed need to start making its own friends. Can we have a blue inserter over here, please? Surely that's not there. Here it comes. This is why we need 1 billion bots, because 1 is woefully insufficient. So however many I've got is woefully insufficient. How many have I got? 5, wasn't it? Yeah, 5, definitely not enough. Right, there we go. There's some concrete. Here comes the bot with the concrete. Let's get going. And there's already a bot sitting there with the assembly machine. That could be one of my personal bots. I'm honestly not sure. Here it comes. Dun 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 dun. Bing bong. Right, there we go. So that's now been. Are you ready? Are you primed? Yes, you are. So let's give you my logistics bot. Where is my There's my logistics bot. Right, and there we go. How are we doing? We've got up to 7. That's an improvement to 8. Yeah, so the system is working now. As you can see, we are gaining bots. Now what I'm going to do to stop this getting too silly... Oh no, I'm going to need a normal combinator. I'm going to need a decider combinator, which is this guy. Had to make the green circuits for that in my pockets, but never mind. Put you in there. So you are going to say... Oh, wait, what are the... No, we need to cable it up first, like that and that. And over here we have... Can we have the settings as Roboport? There we go. Read Wi-Fi con. It's not Wi-Fi. It's cabled. Okay, so we're going to read robot statistics. We want to look at the available robots, which is X and Y. Okay, so if X is less than 200, or Y is less than 200, then output a green square. Enable when green square greater than 0. Right, so that will run until there's 200 spare robots of both types. And spare means they're not. No, that should have been X and Z, not X and Y. X and Z. There we go. Now they're actually different numbers, so that's good. So as long as the only slight risk is that we might end up with a silly number of logistics bots, but oh well, c'est la vie. Okay, so now I have bots. I'm now much happier. I can play this game properly, and I can do silly little things. What's your range? Yeah, I can do little things like saying I don't want these cliffs to be here. Now, I know I made some cliff explosives, but I don't know where they've gone. I believe I've also got cliff explosive rockets. Or maybe I haven't. No, I haven't researched those yet. It's got explosive rocket and normal rockets. Cliff explosives are under logistics. Yes, here we go. Atomic cliff explosives. Was I making those somewhere, or did I just pocket craft a few because I wanted to see how ridiculous they were? They turned out to be very, very ridiculous. Search cliff. No. Let's try it again. Control F. No, not. Try again, but type in the box this time. Atomic cliff. Oh, I am making them. So I need to put a robot. I need another roboport, but that's fine. I'll just put one here, I guess. And so now we'll have a bot. We'll come out, pick up an atomic cliff explosive from there, come out, throw it in over here, and hopefully that won't wreck everything over here. Just in case, I'm going to take out all of these guys and put them in a slightly safer roboport up here. I'll take half a stack for myself. Okay, so the bots are still pretty slow. Can we do any bot speed researches? Yes. I think, yeah, I can afford that one. Or that is one I'm able to do. So we'll pick that up. And then, whatever. So, can we do... I think I've got all the possible inputs now. So let's do let's do all the modules, and why not? Just work our way along the road. But I'd like to get the bots to run a little bit faster. So this bot is probably now doomed because it's going to stop here. It's going to build that, boink like that. Then it's going to grab a cliff explosives, and now I'm afraid, little bot, that is signed your death sentence, but rather you than me. I'm going to pick my car up in case that's also too close to the blast, too near the blast radius. I want time to head down there and also get blown up caught in the explosion, because these shadows are annoying. Oh dear. Okay, what? Oh, there's 5 of them. Okay, so apparently I think the game doesn't realise how powerful the cliff explosives are now. Oh, that makes sense, Mark. Yeah, most of the time it's not too bad. It's just X and Z. I just got the wrong thing. Right, here we go. Explode. Okay, well, it did a lot more damage than I was. It did a lot more damage than a normal one does, but it didn't take the whole thing out. Actually, that was a lot less bad than I was expecting it to be. We're definitely not going to need quite this many of them, but never mind. Bots are literally free at this point. Okay, so I think I can't really take this one out. That's a bit too close for comfort, but the rest of it is, yeah, taking out cliffs now is entirely manageable. I could probably take these ones out as well. Actually, that might get the iron area over here. Oh, and I was going to start making other things as well. Why is there a grill furnace in here? Oh, yes, that's for making the actual grill because it takes so long to run. Okay, let's get that built. So, in order to do so, I'm going to copy these 2 things. And if I put these at full roboport range, is the cabling going to keep it managed? No, it's not. That'd be far too much to ask for. And I don't have the mod that allows you to see where a roboport's range is when you've got another when it's down as a ghost, which is a shame. Just past that tree, so there, and there, I think, and in the rocks there. I think I've got these in the right place. Oh, actually, you know what I should do? I should just copy and paste them. Take that. And just paste it there. And there. And there. And I got all 3 of them right. I'm quite impressed with that myself for that. But it is still... Oh, no. Damn it. It is still a bit unnecessary to have... Yeah, I should have thought of that first. Anyway, remove that, and okay, we don't seem to have got the belt. Oh, I think I already cleared them out. So, how much range have you got? Down to about there. Okay, so I am going to need another one of these in. Can I put it there? That's a nice place to put it. Is it going to have the range? Bottom of that tree. No, we want square high. Alright, let's move you down one. It'll still probably reach over there. Okay, so that'll get this new smelting area up and running once the bots sort of work out how to bot. And we can get a nice supply of greel coming up here. And at the moment, actually we don't have an output of greel from here. We have... it's this belt here where it wants to take out the fish. Okay, cool. So that will want to then run all the way up here. And we've got the supply of greel at the moment coming through from here, but it's not. It seems to be insufficient. Probably because, yes, actually, definitely because we're running out of iron over here. So that's why this is all. That's why I'm doing all of this new construction here. So I'm going to bring this over to here, and then run up alongside this belt. Actually, no, let's not. Let's bring it over and join on over here. I think this is probably better. I can remove that. Because that puts it onto the same belt, and it's just one feed feeding everything. And I can just put in a red splitter then here. There we go. So that's going to that's going to bring me in a nice new stream of the green steel. But I am going to need more robot ports for that to work properly. So I'll put in another one. It should go here. That's fine. That fits really nicely. It's going to need power, of course, but we can manage that. Then this next one, that's one space below the red belt, which is here. And I don't really see a good way of eyeballing that one, so we'll just have to. I don't really want to copy and paste again. Yeah, I need to get into the habit of just using the giant substations, because they're so much better than anything in the world that there's no reason not to use them, except that I'm not in the habit of using them. The shadows are technically fish for technical, this is how Factorio works related reasons. Hello, Nogard. Yes, I'm afraid you have missed some fun. You've missed the bot breeding that was been going on over here. So I finally managed to make a logistics bot, and he's made some excellent, really really good friends with some of the construction robots, and we've been churning out hordes and hordes of children. However, we don't have any of them sitting in this thing over here. So they need to come back. They need to go in there. And then we can pass them through into here, and we won't watch because that's pervy. Can we have some bots, please? Can we just... So, this is an interesting problem. When you run out of bots, you can't make more bots. I say run out of... When all of your bots are busy, you can't make more bots. We only have 222 of them at the moment, and I've just done a really, really big expansion. Because you may remember, last week, I put down the blueprints over here to make a large quantity of... iron over here, which I built up because I was short of iron. Then I put down the blueprints for making greel here and here, and then this one at the top here, and I can't remember what this is for. Oh, this was to make greel once we eventually have enough, once we've made enough iron to start making it in the electric furnaces instead, I remember. So yeah, this will take a while to get to put together, but eventually we'll have, that'll be up and running. But at the moment, yes, we would like to breed some more bots, but the bots are all busy not being bred. So, can I grab one of the... Yeah, there we go. Grab one from there, and I can not reach that machine. So I'm going to flip that round for a second, and I'm going to put some bots in there. This will then run, and I can just keep moving these back across like this until it gets silly. And it might already have got silly. I don't know how many it's going to be able to fit in the output over here, but it's probably quite a few. And we can just keep it fueled like this with bots. So we just make more and more and more bots. So you see, this is a really, really easy way to make them. There's only a 50% chance of getting a new construction bot each time it runs, and there's also a 50% chance of getting a new logistics bot, which is slightly unfortunate because we sort of don't need that many logistics bots, but we're getting them anyway. It's the construction bots I actually want. But it's a 50-50 as to which one you'll get, essentially. Yeah, churning... Yes, absolutely. Churning a pair of bots around and taking out the excess is the sensible thing to do. But that's a bit more complicated to set up, and I just haven't bothered, to be honest. Yeah, all right. Let's put down a box and do something. Because churning thing is, if you put them down if I put them into a box, I don't have diagonal inserters in this game, so it's going to need to be a box and a belt and so on, and I just couldn't be bothered to set that up. But you're quite right. Let's do it properly. So we'll do that, and then we'll set you to actually only unload. Filter you to just construction bots, like that, and then I'll put a piece of belt like that. I actually need two, and then we do that and feed them all straight back in again. At least we could if it hadn't done that. There we go. Why you said, oh yeah, because I need to then do that. And just unload everything into this roboport. There is a risk here that we'll end up with all of the bots being passed over here anyway. All the construction bots being passed over. Or more likely, we'll end up with the roboport being completely full of logistics bots. So let's take out a couple of stacks of those. Because we just have too many of them. It's a weird balance, but to be honest, as long as I get several hundred construction bots, it's probably going to be all right. Even if I just end up chucking some logistics bots in a chest of shame over here, because I don't really need logistics bots. I don't really use logistics bots, and I can't use them to carry the explosives into the cliffs, unfortunately. Or I'd be very, very tempted to do that. So what's the destruction range on these things? So it's from up here to certainly out that far. I'm trying to decide if it's safe to get rid of... Ooh, what was that? I think it's the game trying to threaten me or something. Biters seem to be gathering in larger waves than before. Attack cost modifier reduced. Oh dear. Okay. Yeah, yes, I've gone from having... The first however many hours I've been playing, I've had a massive insufficiency of bots, and now I've got far too many logistics bots, which is a little bit of a silly problem to have, I will accept. But oh well, never mind. Better than the alternative. Right, so actually, having been reminded that biters are a thing, let's check the pollution cloud. Do I need to worry about anything? No, I think at the moment the biters are all well outside the pollution cloud. So even though I haven't built any defences at all, I'm pretty safe. So that's surprisingly good. So let's not worry about it, I would say. Oh, the worker robot speed is not working on robots. Is not happening. Why is that not happening? I thought I had all of those things in my laboratrons. So up here we have those. Oh, it requires yellows. Right. Okay. Get rid of that then. Can't do that one. Can do that, can do that, can do that. I think it's just yellow science that I don't have. Oh, yellow and white science I don't have at the moment. So I guess that means that for my next trick, I should be working on yellow science. That's not the button I meant to press. That's the button I meant to press. Okay, so yellow science packs. That requires... Okay, I was going to say 50 processing units, what? But actually it's 50 processing units. Oh, and 25 flying robot frames. So I am going to need to mass produce the flying robot frames. That, to be honest, that's not unexpected. It was sort of an inevitability. I think I'm going to blow up this cliff over here. It's going to... It's very in the way. It's going to lead to a lot of my belts and things getting destroyed over here, but I think that's probably worth it. Can I run up over here and flip that around? Okay, those can be repaired. That's fine. I just want to rescue this lube. You know what's going to happen, don't you? I'm going to see a bot coming. I'm going to panic and I'm going to try and run away, and it's just not going to work. Okay, bots, come home. Because, yeah, I don't feel too bad about losing some yellow belts, but I'm not sure how much... I'm not quite sure of the quantity of lube we have. Yikes. Okay, that was a little bit more explosion than I was expecting, but it was expected and kind of inevitable. And, of course, the bots have committed mass fratricide, and so only the first bit got destroyed. Well, that's... makes sense, but is mildly annoying. And that's a bot with a repair pack. What are you going to repair? Oh, you're replacing the roboport. Well, that's unwise, but never mind. I accept this is rather silly and a little bit wasteful and ruinous and destructive and so on. But, it's only yellow belts, they're fine. Yeah, I could read the contents of the belt over here, and then set the filter on the inserter to only pass the construction bots through when there's at least some on here. But again, I'm really lazy, and that's going to be multiple combinators. Can we blow the last bit up, please? Because then we can stop messing around with blowing up bots and blowing up things multiple times over, which is getting a little bit silly. So you, no, not you. You're just going to put that in. I suppose I could put some logistics bots into the doomed roboports, but that seems very, very mean. Here it comes. Bang! There we go. Right, now we can stop blowing stuff up for a little while, and stop blowing my own bots up for a little while anyway, which is, I feel like a sensible way to go. Okay, so yes, I was talking about yellow science packs. So those are going to require the flying robot frames, which is a big shame, but I have to admit, not particularly surprising. So we'll pass that over to there. Then we're going to have another belt coming down here with the with the electric motors on it, like that. So that's that one. And then down here, I'm going to start trying to make yellow. Yellow science. So put that. No, we're not. We're going to make the flying robot frames first, because that's an ingredient. So which is batteries, electric engineers, grill, and electronic circuits. So 4 inputs. Are any of them difficult? Are any of them in huge, tiny numbers? Okay, so put batteries and green circuits on the near side. It's doing the making the alert noise thing again, and I don't entirely understand why. And when we had there's a stability thing there, but that was before all these researches happened, so that must have been ages ago. Oh, I can't put that there. That is going to have to... Okay, we are going to have to... If the green circuits are here... How have I got... Oh, I see. That was a very temporary thing to be put down there. Right, so where I actually want to put this is in line with this one. So there. And then I can remove that. And so the belts come up here, like that, and that. So we will then... There. What was that? That was green circuits, and what was the other thing that required multiple things? Green circuits and batteries. Okay, so green circuits come in here. And then batteries, these are the ones I always have trouble spotting. Here. Now, because I'm extending this, I probably won't have trouble spotting them again, so that's going to be a big improvement. Bring that all the way down to here. And then bring them out here, like that. Across. Welcome to Laurence Builds a Bus. What are the other two things? Red circuits and grill. Okay. Not red circuits, red motors and grill. So over here I'm going to want an input there and there. And like that. And so the motors are going to come in on this height. That's from... I've put that belt in the wrong place. That belt... Let's go and move it by hand, I think. That belt should be there. Like that. And then I can put in a splitter here, send them under there. Right, so that's that one. And then there's the grill is the last one, which is actually really close by because I already used it. This night has been really, really long, and that is a troll. And I think because this is the first time I've sort of really gone, hey, this night is lasting a really, really long time, I'm going to count that in the troll count because this is. I feel like this is the first because I'm not using the lunar power. I'm using. Am I on nuclear now? Yes, I am on nuclear now. I haven't really had any serious problems with the day-night cycle being silly. But I am noticing it at the moment because it just feels like it's been gloomy for the entire stream so far. Thank you. Yes, troll count is now up there. Who'd have thought? Yeah, I can't imagine if anyone abusing the bots. That doesn't seem likely. I can't sacrifice logistics bots to the cliff explosive delivery gods, unfortunately. Exactly, Boardies. Yes, we'll just dispatch the bot over to ask the cliff if it would mind not being quite where it is. Government-approved firecrackers, lovely. It's an imaginary playthrough, yes, probably. Oh, did I sacrifice? No, I won't have sacrificed logistics bots. I hadn't noticed that. I hadn't checked the available sacrifices since I had logistics bots. So let's take 100 of those, and then do a logistics robot. Oh, it's 1,000 of them. Okay, yeah, that's going to be a good way of getting rid of a large number of them. In fact, I've got almost 1,000 already. So when I say a large number, wait, how many have I got now? I've only got 450. Okay, I need twice as many logistics bots. Fine. We'll carry on accumulating them because they are going to just generally get made, and I don't really use them, so I don't care too much about having them. So we'll carry on. Yeah, just carry on accumulating them. Just need to make sure I've got a few over here to carry on the breeding program. In fact, I could put an inserter over here, link it up to here, and then total available logistics bots is. That's available is 70 x. So all right, let's say if x is greater than 100, enable when x greater than 100. Now we'll just fill this box up, and that'll be enough when it finally fills. Okay, so down here we're trying to make flying robot frames. So we need a long inserter and we need a short inserter, and then we need an output. But this is going to make a flying robot frame every 9 seconds. 20-second crafting time. Okay, yeah, 20 divided by 3. Okay, every so often we're going to have a flying robot frame come out of here. That's good. So we'll stick that on a belt. Right, let's have another look at the science pack. Science pack is that one. Blue circuits, pressing on low density structures. Right, yeah, okay. They were ridiculous, weren't they? Because we need to make a tank, a nuclear reactor, and a flamethrower turret. Okay. Well, let's look at the tank first because it was first in the list. Tank is a vehicle, so it's in logistics. Tank, that one. Oh, it's just 10 flax-headed box gizmos. Okay, that is far, far easier than I was expecting. I don't know if it counts as me being trolled or whatever the opposite of the pleasant type of troll is. But, yep, okay, I'm fine with that. So we need the flat-headed box gizmos, which are these ones. What have you gone under there? Don't do that. Yeah, you can go under the pipe, that's fine, but don't go under nothing. That's just silly. Let's bring those all the way down here. So, is this going to take forever to make? Where's the 5-second crafting time? So that's more than 1 second, and it only requires flat-headed box gizmos. Okay. Next up, I remember there being flamethrower turrets in there. It's this guy. That requires a fun turret, which requires iron, copper, and iron gears. That's not too bad. We can make those. Just trying to decide the best way to make them. I think it's just going to be have another row. Space is cheap. We don't mind having a ridiculously long bus. So we'll make the tanks there. We'll make the gears there, and then the fun turrets there, and then the flame turrets there. Easy-ish. And then what was the third thing for the low density the heavy structures? That was nuclear reactors. That one I don't remember. I may have made a couple of these, but I don't remember what they needed. Okay, that on the other hand needs bloomin' everything and lots of it. Honestly, the crafting time there is trivial. It's going to be bringing all the bits and pieces in for it. That's going to be hard work. Does that give me lots of low density structures? 200-second crafting time. Oh, and you probably get your nuclear reactor back. 200-second crafting time though. Jeez. Okay. Right. Well, that's interesting. So we'll put down another suitable gap. We'll have down here. This can make me my nuclear reactor, of which I'm going to need like 1, and then another gap, and we'll have the low density structure down here. and then we'll work all of this out. So actually it occurs to me we can have a single belt coming through the middle of here, like that, and then we go, actually I want you guys to be one square up from there, so that you can feed out onto the same thing. And I could have used a long inserters, but this is better, really, probably. And then this is going to be making, this is making the flame turrets. So we want to make Okay, I can't make a flame turret in whatever this is. What do you have to make a flame turret in? In a stone furnace? Right, okay. Do I have any stone furnaces left? Do I have any stone furnaces? Because I don't really want to put down one of the ludicrously long furnace stacks, although I will if I have to. Let's find out. I don't really want to use... Hang on. Can they be made in an electric furnace? Yes, they can be made in an electric furnace. Okay, so we don't have that one. What we have instead is an electric furnace in there. That's much easier. Is that what chat was shouting at me about? No. You need to put the flames in them somehow. Yes, okay, thank you. This is how we get the pilot light, is it? Right, so you're going to make fun turrets. They're going to be fed to there somehow. You're going to make... Hang on, what does this need? Gear. So you're going to make gears. Right, okay, that's easy enough. So I'll have iron and copper come in along this belt. And then we'll have the gears come and the fun turrets. If the gears come along there, turrets coming along there. I don't have anywhere to output these two, so we'll... Oh, actually, they can go underneath. That's okay. No, I can output them onto that belt. That's what that belt's for. That's fine. So that's this system. As long as I can get my... If I get my iron and my copper... Where's yes, here is right. So get the iron and the copper coming in here. I can pull that back in because this is going to be a local pass-through. Iron and copper comes in here, so we feed the iron in there with the gears coming out there. Iron and copper go in there. No, they don't. Iron and copper go in there. The gears go in there, and the turrets come out there, and then go in there. And then the flame turrets come out there. Right, I believe that's all correct. I just need to feed in the iron and the copper, which is the easy part. And then over here we've got the tank, which is that's just the flat-headed box gizmo. So that's, again, is an easy one. I am quite entertained by the tank being so easy to build. And I think that's one of the things that's quite nice about this mod, is that you get the things in there that are absolutely ridiculous and difficult and silly and so on. But then also you sometimes get things where you go, oh, that was really easy. I didn't expect that. And it's got a nice balance between the two, where the tank is easy and cheap to build. And then you get onto the nuclear reactor, which has a bajillion of absolutely everything. So that's going to be fun for certain values of fun. Was it 500? Yes, 500 of absolutely everything we could possibly think of. No, 500 of all the things. So seahorses, copper, red, concrete, and greel. Okay, that's going to be very, very slow to make. We're going to need 2 belts on the input side. I need a 3rd belt on the input side because there's 5 things that go into it, and then we're going to need an output there. This is going to be... I think what I'm going to do is that, because then I can do this, and then I can use faster inserters. I'm going to use stack inserters here, because even though I'm going to try and research stack inserters, because I don't seem to have them. Oh, no, they're under green, aren't they? Never mind. This is perhaps why I haven't been using them, because they're in a silly place. So we do that, and then that. So you know what, while I'm at it, let's put that there. Let's get rid of that and put that in there, because that's the only one I'm likely to use. Am I making green stack inserters? No, apparently I'm not, because I've got a thing down here telling me I'm not making them. Yeah. Okay, well that's going to be another thing to make. Maybe for now I'll just stick blue inserters in here and we'll upgrade it later. And then we go, how on earth am I going to fit all this stuff in here, given my rules of belt placement? So we have that input there, input there. I have input there, like that. So that's these 4 ingredients, like that. Lovely. Then that and that go to there. Oh dear. Then this belt runs down here, I guess. Like, what do you mean missing underground? I don't care if I've not got it in my inventory. Please put the ghost in. This can come through here like that. Out to here, under there. Out. No, wait. That's silly. What are you doing, Laurence? Trying to pick things up from under a black ghost, which doesn't work. That's what I'm doing. Run that through there and that through there. And then we do a long inserter there to grab the nuclear reactors. And we do a short inserter there to grab the other stuff that's coming in. Then down here we'll have a... You're just a single thing made, aren't you? Yes. So it doesn't matter which way around I put the belts. I think what I'm going to do is have that there. I'm going to have this come up here like this. And then go under like that. No, we'll have these go under. That's probably easier. Like that. And have this come through here. So the problem I see with this is it's a little bit of an ultra cube situation. Where... Actually, let's make sure these go onto the other side of the belt. So it's a bit of an ultra cube situation where we're going to have the we're only going to have one nuclear reactor for a while because it takes so long to make them. So that's going to get grabbed by this machine, and then it's going to get released. It's going to go all the way around this convoluted system I'm making before we can actually use it properly. And then we're going to get a second one. Yeah. This is going to be a bit unpleasant, but we'll see what we can do. So I want to copy that, put it there. Point that belt downward. No, that belt downwards. There we go. That doesn't need to be an underground though, but we do need to have belts going through here like this. Copy it again. Paste. Again, those don't need to be undergrounds. Copy it again. So with this being a 200-second recipe, I feel like I'm going to need to have a lot of these machines. But I'm also very, very aware that it's going to take a very, very long time to have enough nuclear reactors for this to actually work realistically. But oh well, and we'll get it going, and we'll see how it copes. That's all I really can do, I think, at this stage. And also, a 200-second recipe is ridiculous. I'll make speed modules for them as well. But to start with, bringing in the inputs is going to be the hard part. So it was, let's remind myself. Seahorse, copper, red circuits, concrete, grill. Seahorse? Seahorse. And it's 500 of everything, so it doesn't matter what order I send the ingredients in. Often it's work. The reason I say that is because if you've got something like where there's one or two of the ingredients are needed in large numbers, stop that. Then it's best to put the ingredients that's the wrong place. No, leave that there. Delete that bit at least. Yeah, if you have a few ingredients, but some of them have larger numbers of whatever it is required, then it's better to ship them in on the nearer belt because they can be grabbed faster by the inserters. That's why but in this case I've put the inserters so they're both grabbing from they're both grabbing from a near belt. The reason behind this is because the stack short inserters are much faster than long inserters. That's what I've been trying to say, and distracting myself because I've also been trying to build at the same time, and apparently I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. Copper. I remember copper was another thing that's going to go into here. Oh, and red circuits. There's red circuits. So let's do that next. Yes, I am. It is apparently. a difficult time with the with that ghost in the way, with that cloud in the way. It has been a while since I said hello to one of the fish. Hello, Sophia. Welcome. You have a fantasy of watching the world burn, do you, Boardeasy? That's lovely. Dear. Right, so that was seahorses and red circuit. So copper, concrete, and greel. And greel's right here. Let's do that one next. Bring you to here. Concrete and copper. That's not concrete, it's a different grey thing. That's copper, there's copper. Let's do that one. Hopefully I've got all of my bus correct and I can just pull this all the way down. The risk is that there might be something weird going on with some of the pipes. Those break all of the rules. But mostly this seems to be alright. Ooh, we're going to need this down here somewhere. This was iron and copper here, wasn't it? So let's pause briefly and put some copper in here. And then we can do the iron in a moment as well. And then this is... Copper's going to have to go a little bit further in order to reach the... I'll put the copper... Whoops. Put the copper here. Because I wouldn't have been able to get it into that one. So it's fine. The order doesn't matter. Then, having managed to distract myself, as is traditional, we'll stick the iron in... somewhere down here. Nope, I've gone too far. Oh, here. Yes, this one. That's why I got confused. It's because I put these in by mistake and then didn't remove them because I thought I might need them for something else later. And so I thought I might as well just leave them in place and see what happens. And it turns out that yeah, they were in the way. There we go. All of that like that. And okay, that'll be that should be the flame turrets being made now. And I've distracted myself. What was the other thing? It was concrete. Right, let's go find the concrete. So concrete comes in on this belt. Here it is. So here it is. Coming down here. What's that? Oh, it's a load of bots with yellow belts. That's fine. Then down here. Okay, I didn't put in a splitter. That's very naughty. So that should go there. And then this can go there. Rotate the damn belt. There we go. This can come down here like so. Where are we going to? There's my nuclear reactor production. So it needs to go into here. There? Yeah. Right, feed that all the way across there. Then we put in a splitter here. Feed that down. And boom! Right, so once the bots have managed to catch up and we get all of that built, how's my bot breeding going? Oh, I still have some available construction bots, so it is just the flight time now at this point that's limiting things. Wait, there we go. So now, once the bots build all this stuff up, I should have low-density circuits being made incredibly slowly. And it will be incredibly slow because there will only be one reactor coming around here to go into the machines, and then there'll be another one, and then there'll be and that'll go round and round and round, hopefully about 100 times. If it gets immediately used up, I lose it immediately because there's only a 99% chance of getting it back. So in theory, I could lose the nuclear reactor on the very first build, but hopefully that won't happen. That's how we're doing for filling up. Yeah, we've got all the seahorses, but we're still waiting for everything else to come in. I should probably start making some green inserters. What goes into a green inserter? Quite a lot of stuff. Okay, well, we'll do that another time, I think. Or not right now. Oh, yeah. The DS came from me not clicking back into Factorio before trying to pan the camera around. That happens from time to time. Yes, at least the splitters aren't back. Well, they're animating backwards, but yes, they don't sort of... The belts don't actually run backwards. The animation has caught me out a number of times, I will admit. Usually when I'm trying to place a belt down at a fairly distant zoom level. Because look, if you look at that from here, I can see that belt is running from left to right. I can't see the arrows on it. So when I'm trying to place belts down when I'm zoomed a long way out, sometimes I get that wrong. Ooh, and there we go. There's my first flame turret, I think. Was a flame turret anyway. I don't know. It might not be the first one. Oh, no, it was the third one. Okay, but we are getting some flame turrets now, which is the other thing that matters. So down here, we've now got everything except that nuclear reactor. And the nuclear reactor now has some of everything except the concrete. The concrete is on its way. So, yeah, sooner or later that will arrive. You know what? I'm going to speed things up a little bit, especially as that inserter is going to be busy doing... Oh, no, it's done the grill already. But even so, I'm going to speed things up a bit and go yum 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 yum. And chuck that in here. And then discover that actually I've not grabbed remotely enough. Oh, and there's a big shortage of... No, in fact, there's only 167. That didn't help at all. Okay, there is a massive shortage of copper. So I think it's going to be time to have a look at the copper now. Yeah, it's only the assembly machine 1s that require shaking. The assembly machine 2s have to be placed on concrete or in the water, and the assembly machine 3s have to be placed on cliff faces, or maybe on concrete as well. I'm not sure. I haven't actually checked them yet because I haven't needed to. Yeah, that copper shortage. Oh, the copper shortage is because it's all getting turned into red circuits, which is fair. I mean, we do need to make red circuits, so okay, I won't complain about that. I will remove that piece of belt though because it's in a silly place. I do clearly need to make more copper. So at the moment, all the copper is coming from here, and this is fine, just about fine, I think. We have nearly a full yellow belt coming out, but I think it's time for an upgrade. I also think it's time to turn the light on, which probably means the room is going to fill with insects, but I think I probably prefer that to the room getting up to 33 degrees again. We'll see. So it's quite a nice, comfortable 26 degrees at the moment. I feel slightly strange saying that describing 26 as a comfortable temperature, but yeah. I do like that the yes, the assembly machine animation wiggle is a bug rather than a deliberate thing that's just been left in because it's funny. I swear it's been nighttime for the entire stream. If I was using lunar power, I'd be absolutely laughing at this point. Right, so yes, copper. Can we have a working scroll, please? Right, so we've got some machines down here that are not being placed. Why are they not being placed? Why is that not being... Oh, that has been placed, but it hasn't got power because this isn't linked up to anything. So I need to put in another one of these, and that will power everything in the world. So that will allow me to almost get the copper production... the steel, the grill production up and running. I do need copper. So, so was I doing that over here for... Yeah, so there's copper for green circuits over here. Was I going to do copper for copper's sake as well? Or do I want to do that from another patch? How big is that patch? 2.6 million. There's a lovely patch over there. Let's go out to this one and set up a copper smeltery over here. So I'm going to need to rummage in my paste buffer until I find... Yeah, that. So place that there. And then we'll remove the bits that I shouldn't have, like that and that. So we'll just do this neatly now. We'll take that, put it in there, and then again over here, but I can't do that yet. So I'm going to tap this patch over here, and I'm going to pull a red belt of copper out of there. Probably 2 red belts of copper out of there actually then, because then I can feed one of them straight into red circuit production over here. Well, actually, red circuit production doesn't use that much copper. Oh no, into the green circuit production, green for red up here, which we are using as a priority, so I might as well carry on doing that. So we'll feed one red belt in here, and then another one in and put it onto the main bus, and then we should have a lot more copper. So that should be a lot better. The sun has gone on a strike over how popular the moon has become. Yeah, you might be right. The moon is a bit of a lunatic, though, so I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. How are we doing? Oh, we've made 2 nuclear reactors. I bet they've both been picked. Yes, they've both been picked up by this thing. Right, so I'm going to link you to that, like that, and I'm going to read contents and including in crafting, and we're only going to have this run when nuclear reactor equals 0. So I don't want to have multiple nuclear reactors in this machine. That's wasteful. We might as well have them... Oh, I've got the wrong one. Damn it. Try that again. And actually, we'll just remove the cable here. Like that. There we go. So that's now turned off. This is now going to run for about 3 million years, and then we'll get a low density structure and probably get our nuclear reactor back. But as it is, we've got the other one is sort of hoarded in there. Am I nearby? Yes. Okay. Well, we're going to come down here, and we're going to tell this machine to stop being quite so greedy. Give me that. Put it in there instead. Right. Now we can at least have we can have 2 of the machines running now, and trying desperately to make some more. What do you call it? Make some more low density structures. I suppose actually I should do this. At least for the first 3 machines. There we go. And then it'll start to matter a bit less as we get going a bit further in. If there's a god around, they'd be fiddling with everything they could, and we'd think, yeah, maybe. Is that how gods work? I wouldn't like to say. I know it's supposed to be in mysterious ways, so maybe that's what this counts as. Another and another. Right, now from there I'll be close enough out to blow up these cliffs and then start falafeling around with the patch over here. So that's going to need another one of these banks. So did we reckon? Okay, this is yes. I was going to double these, wasn't I? Because I did the maths and I worked out that this is a yellow belt or half a red belt. So actually, I need to take this guy and make him twice as big, choomp, like that. And I think the reason I was holding off on doing this is due to not wanting to have to build massive constructions like this without bots, because it's a faff. And if you can get the bots to do it for you, it's so much easier. Put a robot there. Where do you reach to? You reach to that gap there. So put another one. No, I'm going to put it there because it's going to have the power, and they'll all be linked together really. So that should be okay. Right. So that'll get me my full red belt coming out of here, and rather than this sort of a bit less than a red belt, and that's good for in the future. Up here, we're trying to make the grill. Oh yeah, I need to make that. So how much is it? How do I make a grill furnace stack? I need hose restrictors and micro grip fasteners. Let's go and get some of those, because clearly this is not a thing I can do remotely. Should we say? Oh, got some stuff to repair. I should get some repair packs into. What damaged all this stuff? Was this just me blowing up cliffs, do you think? I think it's quite likely that it was me just blowing up cliffs, but I am not sure. Right. Hose restrictor macators. Here we go. And the other things. Basically, I need these in whatever the appropriate quantity is. To then make. Okay, I've made 2. Let's make 2 and shove them both into the logistics network. And it's a bit silly using these, except that whilst because they still require fueling. Except that whilst the electric furnace has a crafting speed of 2, these have a crafting speed of 48. They're enormous, but they have a crafting speed of 48. And since making Greel has a recipe time of 16,000 seconds, that makes the low density structures look like nothing. It's best to have it done in the fastest machine you can, even if there's some silly shenaniganry going on with it. That would be really cool, having roller skates that work on paved areas, and then you go splat if you try to use them on ground. That would be really nice. I like that idea. Or it just has a 0 movement speed on normal ground. That would work too. I think I need some more roboports up here. Apparently we need some power over here as well. So let's put one of these in here. There's a lot of bots flying around. And they're all carrying blue inserters. Oh, that's for building this area up. They're all carrying, yeah, okay, that's fine. I understand. You die when touching grass. That's quite harsh, but then that would fit in with this mod, I have to admit. Research roles. Okay, yeah. It'd be like getting stuck on belts all the time. If it was if it was decently quick, I don't know. It's like having the being able to turn the exoskeletons on and off, I suppose. In that I keep forgetting to do that, but it's useful when I do. Turn them on or off. Right, yeah, whatever. That. Also, I think we should have some more of these going through the middle of here, just for sake of it, like that. And then I can remove all of the the medium pylons, because it's a bit. It makes the build a little bit messy when you have all these pylons in there. I'm not going to do it just yet because they're currently running flat out and producing a quantity of iron. They should be producing an entire this output belt here should be solid with this many assemblers, I think. Oh, I'm short of electricity. Ah, crap. Okay, well, I guess we're also going to build the power system out to the north as well. It's not the power system, the robo system out to the north as well. So we'll do a little bit of this. That goes there. Do we have power? Yes, we have power. We have a power connection there. Let's put that in there, and hopefully that'll explore this area, and then I can stick in another turbine and yada 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 yada. On the plus side, at least the fact that we're using all of these generators hard means we are producing a decent quantity of fish. So that's nice, I suppose. We can then, because we need all these fish in order to upgrade them. Yeah, being able to. I suppose that's just like having a really, really fast belt, except that you want the belt to not move the items around at that speed, because that would be a bit uncontrollable. Right, here we go. Let's get rid of these cliffs. In fact, you know what? I should do this a little bit at a time, there and there, because then we'll get one bot going out to each of those, and we can be slightly less wasteful with the bots, which would be nice, because they are genuinely free, but also it feels a bit mean. And the cliff explosives aren't free, and nor are all the buildings they keep destroying. So, you know, I'll maybe get rid of that one as well. In the meantime, how are we doing up here? Okay, that's been placed already. So we'll put in another one of these over here, like so. Get a bit of a view of what's going on over here. And in fact, while I'm at it, let's put that in there. This is more what's name ports than I need. Okay, well, when all of this finally gets built, we'll have a decent amount of coverage here, and I'll be able to mess around with this uranium processing thing. Nuclear plant, that's the word. So you guys are... there seems to be a shortage of power. There's a shortage of water. Ah. Okay, so I need more pumps in over here, and I'm not putting enough of those in. That, I mean, is a silly problem to have, but it kind of makes sense, so let's fix it. That'll be my my cliff explosives going off. Lovely. So let's take out that one and that one. This one hasn't been taken out yet. I do like how a nuclear blast is visible from anywhere on the planet. Like that. Boom. Still smoking. Permanent. If something's permanent, I think, but it gets blown up by a nuclear bomb, I hope the wreckage isn't permanent. That'd be a bit mean. Oh no, we're going to replace this roboport exactly as the next explosion happens. Oh no, no, we're not. We need to replace the roboport first before we can then come out and drop the next set of bombs. Okay, that is unfortunate, but makes sense. Right. Where was I? Why was I? Oh yes, I was doing all of this because I want the copper. Now I need to get the copper out of this patch over here. So once we've blown that up, then we've got roboport coverage for half the patch. That's a good start. We can then once it's been blown up again, we can then put in the mine, get everything, get it digging up, put into another one of these sort of systems, and go. Okay, now it is a full belt going out, but I suspect this might be because we've been having... Yeah, there we go. It's been stuttering a little bit like that. So we aren't asking for a full belt. But we do seem to have a plentiful supply now. Oh, yeah, I was pocket crafting a couple of... where are those things. So let's get rid of them. Do we have any logistics bots? I think we do. Yeah, there they are. So they can come out, grab those. And we can have those can then be taken away. So that'll get my my Greel supply up and running from down here, which is nice because we're going to need a good healthy quantity of that. These machines up here are already trying to run. They just need to. So we're feeding the iron in there. It's just it needs to get up to, I can't remember how many thousand, 5,000 I think it was before it'll even start working. So yeah, this is going to be a slow process, but hopefully this will kick in and give us some before we need it. It's possible for ghosts to become permanent. Yeah, that definitely sounds like a feature. A feature that I'm absolutely terrified by. Okay, good. We've got that all that cliff. Oh no, nearly all the cliff out of the way. There's a little bit more up there that needs to be done. However, I think taking that bit out won't destroy the Roboport. Probably. We'll find out in a little while. In the meantime, we can have a look up here and go, okay, we still haven't got enough Roboports out, so let's put in some more like that. But presumably the problem here is that we just straight up don't have enough pumps pumping the water one out of the ground there to bring it over here to then boil, and that's going to be the cause of my electricity shortage, because I'm making approximately nothing from my steam turbines, which are supposed to be making quite a lot more than nothing. Although they've been stuck there for quite a long time, so I don't know. We'll need to give that a good boost anyway, and we can do that once all of this gets built up. You good? You're good. Where's the bot? There's the bomber bot. Bomb. Bum 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 bada bum 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 bada bum bum bum. Should start that slightly lower. Right. Anyway, so that's when that starts. How are we doing down here? Okay, we've made 1, 2, 3, 4. We've made about 6 low density structures now. So that's, I guess that's a start. They are being made gradually. Is it the copper down here that's the limiting factor? No, it's concrete. Huh. Okay. So we are not making concrete at all? Welcome to Laurence traces problems back and goes, why is this broken? And probably followed by, why did this ever work? No water 2. So you're generating water 2. Have my pumps got slower? I don't think they have. Oh, maybe we started using sulfuric acid. So suddenly all of it, yeah, we started using sulfuric acid for something. So all of a sudden one pump is no longer sufficient. Okay, well, we'll sort that out momentarily. In the meantime, you know what? Sod following the coastline. Let's just do that. Am I making landfill? I've got landfill. Am I actually making it somewhere? Don't need these bits. I can halve my requirements if I do this. I've clearly had some landfill at some point in the past, because there was some used for the machines down at the bottom. Unless there was, yeah, there's some used for the machines down at the bottom where they're making the sulfuric acid and the water too and whatnot down here. There you go. There's some landfill. So I've got some landfill, but that doesn't mean I've got lots of it. Let's give each machine its own pump for a moment, for now, and then we can debate whether that's actually enough. 60 per second, no. 3 per second, yes. That one would be okay, except for the other ones all slurping up enormous quantities of water too. Okay. So I guess I'm going to do the same sort of thing I just did for the water 1 up top, and do that. I see no reason not to. Now just put the pipes along here, and yeah, it's nice and easy. For this particular case, and we also need so much of it, let's do this as well. Granted, making offshore pump 2 is extremely expensive, but I've been stockpiling them for a while. I have no idea where, but I have been, so maybe I'll have lots. I don't know what sort of numbers I've been building them in. Bump. Offshore pump 1 is there, and offshore pump 2 is right next to it. Okay, so yeah, I've got 19 offshore pump 1s, And I've got 19 offshore pump 2s. Okay, that's not too bad. Now do I have landfill? I do not have landfill. Okay, so we're going to need to make landfill. How do you make landfill in this mod pack? You make it from 20 stone. Okay, that's quite cheap. I've probably got somewhere where I can just do that. Where there's stone going up into an area where I'm making things. Like here, for example. So let's put in the usual advanced assembly machine. So I'll put in one of these. You can go there. Let's put it there above the roboport, actually. Because extending the belt that far is absolutely fine. And then I can just put that there with a red chest on the output there. And we'll have 3 stacks of landfill. You are going to make landfill. There we go. That's going to want more of those. There we go. So make some landfill here. That will allow me to start doing those sort of productions. Of course, we don't have any concrete, so this might be tricky. We'll see how it goes. Time for water pump 2.1 to make water pump faster. Yeah, that'd be quite funny. I don't know. There's been, I don't think it really counted as a troll because it wasn't all that different, or it was similar enough that it didn't make me go, what on earth is going on here? This is ridiculous. I think it requires that incredulity from me to an extent to count as a troll. Just having something be a different price, that's fine. Yeah, I guess it depends on what sort of mod you're making. If you're making a planet mod that some lunatic is going to combine with another 30 or 40 planet mods and call it Planetary Pioneers or something, then yes, you need to have you need to take very good care of UPS. If it's something like fun mode, which are intended not to play with anything else, it's just its own thing, then it matters a lot less. I mean, as long as the game is still playable on a reasonably normal computer, it doesn't matter if you've got some things that are a bit UPS inefficient, because it'll be a bit slower and a little bit worse, but it won't be that bad compared to it. But because it's only your mod that's running, it won't be that serious, I guess. Yes, an anti-troll counter or something, or a whatever the opposite of a troll is. I've not really been counting though. Yeah, and I guess my feel is that there are different levels of UPS pain, should we say. Alright, there we go. Here's some, these are the basic offshore pumps. These are the easy, cheap ones to make. You still need to get the landfill out to place them down, but they're quite easy to make, so that's going. So they're coming together fairly quickly. But of course, without any pipes, they're not going to do much good. But still, you know, it's a work in progress. Those will get placed. Everything will we'll get a bit more water coming through here, and things will start to be better. TM. Things are actually already a bit better, probably because the roboports have stopped using quite so much power because I'm not doing quite so much building. No, actually, no. The roboports are fairly insignificant in the grand scheme of things. I'm putting in a lot of electric furnaces, so that's gonna ramp up the power usage a bit. Still only about the same number of low density structures down here. That's putting them in the wrong place. Yeah, we've got quite a lot of these along here now. Let's remove you, put it there instead. Wait, hang on, is there supposed to be a... I'm confused. Yeah, all my reactors... no, I've not put a filter in. That's the problem. Right, okay, let's fix that. So the idea was, yeah, we're chucking everything out onto this outer belt. And, right, okay. This is bad, and I should feel bad. So let's run back down there and sort that out. Actually, no. Let's put a pin in that. First, let's set up a smeltery over here. A mine over here, sorry. Now I've got rid of all of the all of the rocks and things. So I don't want to put that there, but I do want to have this, I guess. here is good, and probably here is good. Then I can build. Then I can build everywhere basically. And if I top that up with that, I'll put one down here as well, and then I can have one up here. Basically, I just want a blob of these things round the outside of the copper patch to make sure everything is powered. Then I can cram my mining drills in a little bit more closely, like this. Not that I'm going to need a huge number of them, but yeah. Let's not go this far beyond the edge of the patch. I mean, I know I can, but I don't need to. Let's put the belts in before I start doing that. Right, that's one red belt, probably, assuming it fills up nicely, which I don't see why it wouldn't. There we go. Copy that, put that in here. And extend these out a little bit, because might as well. Oops. There. Alright, so I said I wanted to make 2 red belts worth. So that means... Go away. That means 2 of these on either side. There and there. Oh dear, we're going to have some biter issues with this. Probably better get out there and... Because I assume... Oh yeah, yes. When bots remove rocks, you get biters. Even if the player isn't nearby, presumably. So I'd better get out there. Where's my car? There's the car. Where's the fuel? There's the fuel. And bots like to remove things first, so the rock removal is probably going to... Oh no, it doesn't seem to be happening. Just let's not drive into the into Tim time. That's... Oh. Yeah, there we go, like that. At least they're all aggroing on me rather than anything else they might be aggroing on, so that's not too bad. Can we lose that rock as well, please? There we go. Right, is that all the rocks we're going to rip up? Yes, I think it is. Cool. So the next thing is, these belts should actually be pointing that way. Oh. These belts should actually be pointing that way. Like that. And like that. Not that that's a serious problem. It just means just turn them around like that. And then we have that in there. And then in the end, we need to start mixing stuff together. Maybe I should turn my bots off for a moment. There we go. Get my bots back. This is that, and... Oops, no, a bit further out than that. Go out one first, otherwise you end up with issues from the other other belt. There we go. So there's my 2 red belts of copper to be. So one of them was supposed to go in here. I'd like to run a red belt into here like this. No, can we just not? Can we not? There we go. Right, can we go underneath there, please? I don't want to blow up. I actually don't want to blow up the cliff for once. There, like that. I'll even go under the rock for the sake of biter-related sanity. I will go through the trees, though. I don't mind destroying trees. That's safe. This is, of course, naturally way above the where the copper is being produced. Or do I want to... I could bring it along. No, I won't bring it along in here. Ooh, I will destroy this cliff area, though, I think. Hopefully that's out of range of all of this stuff. Yeah, so I'm thinking I will destroy this cliff area in case I need to build more red circuit production, because that seems relatively likely. Now I can compensate I can double it at least, and I can compensate to an extent with speed modules and possibly even the odd beacon here and there. But overall, I would like to Well, actually, this is going. Hang on, this is going to be really bad with all the bots flying over. Let's not. Let's not do that. Let's get rid of that command. And maybe I will just leave this as it is and put in some more roboports up here. There we go. I've got a nice grid starting to come together here now. Can we get another one in here? Yes, might as well then. Oh, I did. I told those to expand up there. I didn't actually give them the roboports to do so. That was an oversight. There we go. Now they can. Or now they will be able to. And up here, this is all now... Do I not have pipes being put into the robo system? I mean, clearly not, but that seems like a ridiculous oversight. What's happened to my iron feed? Why is everything suddenly breaking? Okay, no, this is fine. It's just not going out this way. This has finally given up the ghost completely. Okay, right, we found another problem. I'm going to go over and fix that one up manually, and I can do that while the bots are doing all the construction work over here, because it's not particularly important. Don't walk into Tim time. Opposite of troll is a blessing. Yeah, maybe. Bootlace gets caught in the belts. That sounds very dangerous. And therefore wildly appropriate. No, I don't need to go. Oh, I need to get through. I need to get through the bus production area somehow. Oh, not by driving through rocks though. Let's go through the gap here. Yeah, wow. Did you see that? I actually got straight through all the pipes, and then, okay, I drove into a rock afterwards while I was celebrating. But I managed to get through between all the pipes without crashing. Right, so up here, the iron from the initial iron supply. Let's pick the car up before it just disappears. There we go. The iron from the initial iron supply has depleted to the point of basically being useless. So I'm going to do that, and that. And I'm going to remove that. This is a really awkward place for it to have come out, because it's needed up here for ammunition and pylons. Neither of which are actually that important, given that I have a lot of ammunition and there's another 4,600 in there. How can I fix this? I guess we pull this back a little bit further, like so. Then I can put a splitter there, and then pull this back like so. No, and run that under there and across there. There we go. Right, so here, well, a yellow belt is probably going to be in. Stop that. Yellow belt is probably going to be okay, I think. Why is this not just turning stuff round for me? What's going on? Oh, it's a can't be mined one, that's why. Right, okay, I understand. Let's reset that, because I can easily. It's only 200 research packs. Okay. One of the other random events, a few number of bots have an event where the active bots self-aware and fly off. Yeah, that would be entertaining. I haven't noticed a research. I don't remember noticing a research multiplier one. That doesn't mean it hasn't happened, but I don't remember noticing it. Alright, so now I can just do this along here. Okay, that's makes sense, because it needs to pull the resource out here. Is there anything else along here that needs it? Yes, there are a few things. And here, I'll put in a splitter there. Run this along here. Splitter goes there. There. And there. Who's that? And right, I think that's it. I think that's just the input. Okay, good. So at this point, I guess we'll run this background here. And all of these can just combine together at this point, I think. So this was a second feed going through to make I think to make belts. And so, yeah, I guess that's fine, really. Don't need this to be fed through. But any iron we do make can be sent over to the belt production area. But in general, all of our iron is now going to come from the new production area, which is going to be much more capable. There we go. And so that was, what was that limiting? I've forgotten what that was limiting, but it was causing problems anyway. And now we see that we have, yeah, okay, we're refilling the side of the belt here. Is that because we're feeding? Oh, I see. Yes, it's only half full there because quite a lot is being fed through here to go that way to just refill things that were struggling over in that area. That's all fine. That's working nicely now. Where was I? Yeah, I mean, any normal factory, you have your bus works as a road because you can drive down any one of these sort of lanes. It's a four square wide lane, and you're absolutely safe just bombing down it because there's not going to be anything on it that you can run into. Unfortunately, the underground pipe length has been reduced so much that now you have no choice but to have some pipes in the middle of your road, and also you can't have these things a little bit more sensibly placed to leave some gaps. Partly because the underground is so much shorter, but also because you can't put them in line with each other or they'll connect. So yeah, the fun mode has made just being able to bomb around on use your bus as a main road quite a lot more difficult. Right, so we have some copper being made. Why is there only oh, we're still waiting for some inserters to arrive. Okay, fair enough. And then down here we can have another belt coming up here. Doink. And oops. Let's do that again, but with less. What? Let's go under the rock, under the cliff. And then, right, so I want to feed this belt in to become part of this belt and then upgrade the whole thing. What's the best place to do that? Because it's kind of crowded up here. There's a bit of a gap down here that I could use. I could push it in through here, or I could go up and go round past the ammunition and concrete and grey science and shenaniganry area. Let's go that way. In fact, what I could do is I could do that and that. Under there, yep, that'll do. And then up. Across here, down, remove a bit of that because otherwise I'm going to be very sad when the splitter actually accidentally joins stuff together. Then I use one of these here, and yeah, then I want to upgrade all of this belt as well. As usual, I'm going to have to come back for the splitters, but that's fine, I suppose. Oh, actually, we seem to have enough copper now. That's interesting. Ah, because we still don't have enough concrete, because that isn't fixed yet, because I've got the robot still heading out that way. Okay, fine. As long as I understand why it's not working quite as well as I want it to, I'm sort of okay with it. But I feel like I'm going to need more copper, just in general, in the future. So this is becoming a sort of a recurring theme. Both of the last two streams I put in additional copper mines. One was just straight up for making the making green circuits. Uh-oh. Oh, we had a. I wonder if we've had a whatchamacallit. Clearly we're having a bit of a whatchamacallit at the moment. The whatchamacallit I'm trying to think of is I wonder if they pulled up a rock or if we've attracted some with pollution, and I don't know. So I'm going to have to go over and sort that out. Can I have some fuel? There we go. I'm going to have to try and get through here, which is always fun. There are too many pipes on this bus. Right, there we go. Straight through here. Right, now we're home free. So, there's some biters. Oh no, there's another pipe here to get through. Biters down here somewhere are enjoying the tasty mine that I have set up. Just a bit of a drive-by. There we go. That's that sorted. The question is, did they come over here because of pollution? And the answer is yes. Okay. Right, let's just go down and sort them out. Get out the fish. Get the ammunition back from the car. That'd be useful. La 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 la, give me that. Right. Get the fish out. Heal 80 bonk. Lovely. And I right click to consume. Oh. I panicked a little bit when I saw the green ones. Why am I not eating? Why was the fish eating not happening? They're all going to run up straight up here and attack my mine now, aren't they? Oh, goodness sake. I think I was holding down shift because I was trying to run again, and that stops the right-clicking working. So that was dumb. On the way through, I shall grab some more ammunition because I only had 99 mags left. It didn't seem to be doing quite as much damage as I would expect, which is a little bit weird. So give me a few of those. There we go. Yeah, I have a bad habit probably from playing Foundry of holding down shift when I'm trying to run, and that doesn't do anything in Factorio apart from break all of your everything you're trying to do with the rest of your controls. Now I should probably grab some iron and some copper and make a new SMG. Was that enough? No. More copper. Still not enough. What? Need more iron. There we go. Make a new SMG. Just in case my corpse decides it isn't ready to come back to me. No, I was trying to eat an actual fish, but I think I was pressing the wrong button. Sorry, I think I was holding shift, and that was what broke it. Also, I wouldn't have had the good armour on because I didn't even think of it in time. I just went in and got a bit cocky. So the question is, can I reach my corpse from outside the range of the biters? What is the range of the biters? As soon as one of them notices me, I'm going to get 1 million of them. That's the problem. Oh, there we go. Like that. Although actually, they're not that dangerous. Did I have the pistol out before then? Was that why I was having so much trouble? Because these are not exactly dangerous. There we go. I've got the better armour on now as well. I've got my fish back. I'm not sure why I got in trouble last time, because this is how I expect combat to go in this mod. Namely, pretty easily. So I don't know why I was struggling. The only thing, based on the amount of damage I wasn't doing, I'm wondering if I accidentally had yellow ammo in my gun, or if I was using the pistol. I have this sneaking suspicion that maybe I was accidentally using the pistol. It's true. It's possible I accidentally pressed tab and switched over to the pistol. That feels like what might have happened. Oh, and they've destroyed my car. The sods. That was annoying. That's really annoying because cars are a little bit annoying to make in this mod because you have to make specifically the right type of engine for them. Oh well, never mind. Yeah, I don't think there was anything trollish related based on just feeling it. I would happily believe it was due to me having the wrong gun selected, or possibly the wrong ammo. But I have a feeling that it wasn't doing as much shooting as I was expecting, which seems like a clear sign of it being having the pistol selected. So I need to make sure I just get rid of the pistol out of the gun slots, so it doesn't happen again. because fun mode combat is supposed to be very, well, does tend to be very, very easy, and not just because I have a bajillion fish, but because it's just not, there's no real challenge there. Yeah, oh yes, I definitely was pressing shift, but I also didn't seem to be doing as much shooting as I expected. So pressing shift was why the fish didn't heal me. That I'm definitely aware of, and I fully understand that one. The bit that was confusing me was that I also didn't seem to be doing as much damage as I expected, and I think that is down to accidentally having the pistol selected. You think the grenades just paint the area green, do you? You could well be right. Right, let's do some research. Let's have a laser shooting spear, brain force, energy weapon down, explosives. I don't think I need the explosives to be any stronger. By the way, the cliff explosives are going bang. Oh, rocket control units 2. Okay, fine. We'll get that. Destroyer. Don't really care. Don't really care too much about that at the moment. Just pick up the first things. Right. So where was I before I saw? Oh yes, the concrete was the current problem. Quick pollution check. No, all the way around seems to be absolutely fine now. Concrete. Yes, concrete was a concrete issue. Oh yeah, because there was no pipes, I remember. And then I came over here to go, well, okay, let's stick some pipes into a box, and discovered there was no iron. So I needed to fix that, and then I got distracted by something being attacked, and you know how it is. Let's not put that there. Let's put that up here, and set the filter to just pipe, and set the box to we'll have 3 stacks of that one. And then there'll be pipe available. Easy as that. That seems like an excessive number of machines making pipe just for one machine making boiler. Oh no, it's because it's making for science packs, so I do need it to be in ratio. Okay, that's fine. Oh, you're getting belts. Fine. Fine as well. Is that... What am I short? Is it short of missing material for construction? Have I used up all my... Oh, there's pipes over here. There's just no robo coverage. Blap. Fine. We'll do that. And that'll fix it. Double fix it then. And that'll get me the pumps and things as well. That's good. Am I... Okay, yeah. We are basically out of red belts. We just need to make more of them. Fine. So here we go. There's a nice healthy supply of pipes over here now. So that's cleaned. Well, no, it hasn't cleaned that one out, but it's getting on the way to doing so. Why hasn't my grill furnace stack been placed? Because I definitely made some of those. I pocket crafted them, and I put them into the logistics network, and I've not seen them ever since. So where did they go? I did put them in, didn't I? I'm not still hoarding them in my pockets. No, virtually certain they've gone. So where did they go? That's a mystery. Logistics storage. We have a spoon. We should have 2 grill thingamwhatsits. Unless they got blown up by something. Like clearing some cliffs out. But I guess I'm just going to have to make another one. That's mildly annoying. That means a lot more hose restrictors and micro grips, but fine. Yes, a grenade for being full of green paint does seem quite amusing. I don't know. We'll see. Unless I don't have more than one. No, I don't have more than one logistics network. So it's not they've gone off. Where did they go? That's very strange. I don't know how I could just lose them like that. What am I looking for? Here's the hose restrictors. Here's the other thing, whatever it's called. Boxer tricks. That one. Right, this time I'm just going to go over and place it myself, to be honest, because I don't want to lose another one. And the plot. Okay, so how are things going? What is my objective at the moment? I still need to go over and fix the low density structure production because that's a mess at the moment. Everything's coming out on the same belt, which wasn't how I intended it to go. And then I guess the next thing after that is going to be to get the yellow science up and running. So let's have a look over here. Yeah, these are all out. Yeah, I see what. So let's. I want to remove that one. I think just to make the whole system a bit cleaner and simpler. Also, that does need to go downwards. So we'll set up the filters on here. So filter, you're going to be taking out just nuclear reactors. All the blue guys are just going to be taking out nuclear reactors. Like that. Then the red guys are just going to be taking out low density structures. It's interesting that all of we haven't ended up with a single, despite the fact they've both been trying to unload both. We've only got low density structures on the bottom belt. We haven't ended up with a nuclear reactor there. That surprises me because I'd have thought it'd be about a 50-50 chance of it ending up like that, but apparently not. Then we've got a load of low density structures over here that I need to tidy up, but I can do that later. Okay, that's the low density structures being made, which I think that was an important ingredient for blue science, wasn't it? So let's put that in like that. Doomp. There we go. So now all of the iron is, in theory at least, going to pour straight into the machines here. So we can see there's 180. Oh, there's 4 of them have started. That's amazing. So these guys are now 11% of the way through to actually making some grill. That's really, really good. Anyway, more importantly, over here, I'm going to start wanting to make yellow science. So that's processing units, which I have. Flying robot frames, I kind of have. But I forgot to put in an exerter to bring them out. Do I call all of this internal? I think I probably do, because I don't think I need these for anything else. So let's put an underground there. And this can come down here. I think I'm going to need a red underground to go underneath all of that, because there's quite a lot of stuff happening here. So I'll do that from there to there and there to there. I can squeeze the belt of bot things through there. What is going on here? This is all a horrible, horrible mess. So I wanted to put this on the near side of the belt. So that needs to go what? So these are going to go onto the port side of the belt. So I want these to go on the port side of the belt as well, so they don't. So these should come around. There. That'll put everything onto the port side of the belt as it comes around here, so it'll block this from making more if we have too many of them. That seems right. That also, as a bonus, means I can run that straight through like that and stop being silly about it. And then here, I've got 2 of my inputs. Let's take another quick peek at yellow science. 1 LDS. It is 25. Okay, and I should probably put the flying robot frames onto the other belt then. So we'll have the LDS being on the more distant belt, because it only requires 1 of those for each one. But then we'll bring in blue circuits here, cram everything onto this same belt here, and then I can start making yellow science along here. Yellow science, like that. And that's about 1. Okay, we'll put in 3 machines doing this once I've got it set up, because it's reasonably quick, but not very quick. But when it does make some, it makes lots, which is nice. So that there. And I need to bring in the blue circuit. That's... Jeez, how long? I thought blue circuits was something I'd made quite recently. And I guess they were in it was only last week. But that's quite a long way back up the bus. I'm mildly surprised. Right, so we have... The line is here. And then... Wait, okay. there. I'm going to put a splitter in there and loop it around it like that. Then I can come through here with the underground and put one too many in as always. There we go. So again, that's my blue circuits, that's my flying robot frames, and my low density structures. That seems to be everything for that. And then I'm going to need another belt that flows here. Yeah, it's okay. Is here still okay? I lost track of how big my... Okay, so yeah, this is the first... Yeah, so the first thing on the bus row, this is the second one. And I've got outside the Roboport range. Hurrah! Put another one of these in. Yeah. I'm going to stick with that pattern, I think. There we go. So put one of those in there and power it like that. No, don't twitch before you click. There we go, like that. So this is going to be the yellow science coming out like this. There we go. I wonder if there's another belt I should be putting this on, like with the other half of the purple science. Yes, there is. Well, or does the purple science get merged with something later on? Let's check. Okay, no, purple science gets merged with something else there. So no, this needs its own belt. But we'll put the we'll probably put white science onto it later when we get it. So I'll put that in there as a little reminder. I'll still forget, but at least if there's a little bit of a reminder, then I'll remember it eventually. Okay, and along here I've got a belt going under there, so we should have another underground would be there, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, so a gap of 2. So we have a gap of 1, 2, and then the next belt goes across here. So this is where this science pack should come into, so like that. And then I can bring this across here, and then I need to get it into over here somewhere. So actually I am going to have to sort of kind of ignore what the bus is doing a little bit, come up to there. Hopefully the green won't matter later. And then just pass that to there. And I don't need the wings on it, that's fine, they can stay. So eventually I will bring that should be that should bring the yellow science up, dump it straight into the labs, all should be great there. Right. No, I think I've now got I think I've done the cliff diving research, so I'm now able to not fall off cliffs. Were they left in the... No, they weren't in the car. I got rid of them. I remember watching so the question was about this thing. I made 2 of those. I gave them to the logistics bots. I saw them come and get them from me and take them away, and then they never went anywhere. They've not gone into the yellow chest. They just don't seem to have gone anywhere. So I am puzzled. I do not know what has happened to those. I do know, however, that I need to deal with these fish. Where do I want to take them? There's a fish belt over here somewhere. If you were a fish belt, where would you be? You'd probably know. No, that's the science one. I don't remember requesting a cliff gets blown up. Oh, bother. Oh no, there go my nuclear reactors. Oh, I know what happened there. I'd left the instruction to destroy a cliff down here from ages ago, and I must have put in an extra roboport that increased the coverage. That's annoying, because it's blown up a lot of important resources that I took ages to make, but in the grand scheme of things, oh well. Yeah, something just went boom. I'm surprised it took so long to get to that, because I don't remember putting in an extra roboport down here. And I don't see one that's been wrecked. So I'm surprised that happened, but it was pretty much an inevitability, if I'm being honest. There's also a couple of pieces of belt missing there. Oh well, Sylvie. Right, where was I? Oh yes, I was talking about fish, which is far more important than nuclear explosions. We seem to have a fish-related problem. Hang on, what's going on here? Why are there green circuits on my fish belt? And why does it suddenly smell of weed? Must be the neighbours smoking it. Why are there green circuits on my fish belt? Or what? What is going on up here? Yes, the fish are clearly trying to play games on the circuits as they travel around. Yeah, this is a. There's my foundry things. What is going on here? What is this belt? There is a red chest. That's a provider chest. That shouldn't be being given stuff. Have I done a weird with an splitter across here? This belt is just full of. This looks like a yellow chest as it emptied onto this belt. Are you secretly a yellow chest? Yes, you are. Oh, this is a subtle troll. The yellow and red chests are the opposite way round, and I hadn't noticed. Oh no. Oh. Okay. Right. I feel like that deserves more than one because of how long it took me to notice. And how much of the factory it screwed up doing that. Jeez. Okay. Right. Well, first things first. Let's do a red chest to yellow chest. And all of these should be yellows, just in case I drag across anything I didn't mean to. Or just in case there's anything I didn't get before. And then let's sort that out. So 69 of them. Nice. But I think that's the only one that empties onto a... that's the only one where stuff's being taken out of a red chest and put onto a belt, maybe. It's certainly quite rare for that to happen. Normally a machine would put stuff straight into a red chest. Not the... Yeah, we don't tend to take stuff out of red chests with inserters. So I'm cautiously... What is going on here? Is that a... What is going on here? So this belt is a fish disposal. And that's been rotated. I think that was the game trolling me. Although I don't know where that straight came from. We've now got... This is the fish disposal belt. And it's... Oh, wait. And we're supposed to be putting the fish onto the other side of it. What is going on here? I don't understand. Right, let's take normal... I want to sort my fish. So we'll take the normal fish out to the left here. And then put them onto there. So that keeps the grape fish on one side and the normal fish on the other. So that's good. We'll clear those out. Clear those fish out. Right. Is this the belt I've been dreaming of? Because I'm sure it was a fish belt, wasn't it, that had the problem? Oh no, I don't know which belt it wasn't anymore. It was a vertical belt. Oh, it was this one. Oh, it's an advanced fish belt. Right, okay, that makes sense. That's why it's coming down here. Then to over here. Right, so I guess I just sort of stand here and go, yes, please, I will have all of your everything. I'm just going to pick the fish up as well, because life's too short not to do any other way. Right. Okay, well, at least that's answered my earlier question of what happened to my two those things, the furnace stacks. Yeah, I absolutely now I've discovered that red chests and yellow chests have been swapped over. I absolutely understand why what happened. It makes perfect sense now. However, it didn't make sense until I'd worked that particular troll out. And now there's lots and lots of yellow belts because I've been doing a load of belt upgrades. Let's get a load of them. This feels like trying to filter spoilage out on Pelagos or Gleba or something like that, where you've where you realise that one of your belts has accidentally become heavily contaminated with an incredible amount of spoilage, and you're just having to pick loads and loads of stuff up. Or I feel like this belt should have had a loop on it to make. I think I've got it all now. This belt should have had a loop on it to make sure that all of my to make sure that the fish would always be accessible, and then unload other stuff onto another belt that goes somewhere else or something like that. That would have been the remote way to clear it up as well. So that might. Oh no, hang on. What fish are you making? You're making fish 6, right? So here, fish 6. Put them in there. What are you? You're a fish 3 and a fish 2. Can you... Where do these? Okay, those go in there. Those go in there. Right. Okay. Well, that was wonderfully ridiculous. Let's get rid of some more. Right, let's put the wooden armour back on again, because I'm not in combat. I've got some raw fish, I've got some grape fish. Can I eat these? Yes, I can. Maybe I'll hang on to the grape fish and just try and remember to eat them next time I go into combat or something like that. They don't stack very high, though, so that's not going to be very helpful. I've got 6 dead bodies. That's a lot. There you go, I've got 13. So I've died 13 times so far, assuming I haven't lost any of my corpses. Great. Right, so what on earth was I doing before I got rudely interrupted by everything? I think I was trying to make yellow science. So let's take a look at that. We don't have any power down here. That's a silly problem. There we go. Now we have power. What do you have? You don't have any blue circuits because is one of these the wrong way? One of these is the wrong way around. There we go. So that's the blue circuits. We've got some flying robot frames have come through, but there's a shortage of those. We've got some low density structures. Why are flying robot frames sad? No electric motors. Why are electric motors sad? Why am I doing all this on foot? Why are electric motors sad? No lube? No lube. Did I have any? I picked up a load of lube at one point. No, I obviously fed it all to the machines. Okay. So, lube. There's going to be a lube shortage, probably because this is all sort of jammed up and messed up, and we've overloaded on something in here. Or are you running happily? Oh, we've got too many blue circuits. No, we're not turning blue circuits back into... We're not processing the blue circuit juice into blue circuits quickly enough. Okay, that's not where I expected the problem to be, but I'm happy with the problem being there because that's quite an easy one to fix. Because if I put some of these in over here like that, then I can pipe there, and there, and there, and there. No, not there. Alright, let's move this whole thing across 1 or 2, or actually let's just move it across a chunk, like a bit like that, because better to have too much space than too little. Right, so do that and that and that and that. In fact, then I'll pull all of these back 1 like that, because then I can run one of my belts down here like that, and then I can run one of my belts down here like that, and it's just easy. And this is a mixed output belt, so that wants to run onto here. So if I make this go under here like that, and then I want these to all be on the right hand side though, so we'll link that to there like so, and then this can be a coal input, so I'll put in a splitter up here, run that across there like that, and then fuel, 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 fish, 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 and then power as well, of course, because why would we not want power? And now I can pull out a lot of these mini pylons as well, because they're just unnecessary now. I'll probably cut off the power to something else by doing that, but still, it tidies things up a little bit. And actually, I don't seem to cut the power off, so that's good. Oh yeah, and I need to tell the recipes. Joop. There we go. So that, I mean, that's a bit of an improvement. I don't know if that's going to be enough, but it is enough that the system has started running again. So we're now using some more of the processing unit fluid. So that's a good start. And if we're using the processing unit fluid up, that means we can then let some tar through, which will be turned into cola, which can then be turned into lube, and then suddenly this belt is what? Something is turning my underground belts round, and I think that's a troll, because this worked before. Although I have to admit, I'm not certain. So does this mean we actually have loads and loads of the fluids? Yeah, we do. We have loads of fluids. It's just the belt was turned round. Okay, well, still, I think having that extra capacity for producing more blue circuits is probably a good thing, given that I'm now starting to actually use them, and in quite large quantities, or at least I will when this kicks in. And we still need another 25 flying robot frames. Yes, because there were some, but then this area got nuked, so that's why we don't have any at the moment. Fine. I'm not mad, I'm just mildly disappointed. Let's build some repair packs while we're waiting for that to happen, because I'm getting annoyed by... I'm getting fed up of seeing the little flashy lights everywhere. So that's red circuits, that's green circuits and gears, which we have conveniently on this belt here. No, we don't, those aren't gears. I'm sure there's somewhere that has green circuits and gears. Here, for example. So I'm putting another one of these, and we need green circuits, and we also need a yellow chest to put things in. Let's get this right this time. Yellow chest goes there. I hate it. No, I don't hate it. I just got thoroughly trolled by it. Oh no, we're doing it already. This is, in fact, making repair packs. It's right there. It's just not doing anything useful with them. And we don't have any more any red chests now. So actually, I need to find these chests down here and turn them into red chests, because they were meant to be my dumping area. I didn't think of that when I swapped them all over, because I was too busy raging and twitching and other similar things. All right, so one of these to go in. Here, no, here. Then we'll want to remove that because it's nonsense. I'll put that there, and then check that down to take that down to 2 slots, and then for good measure, I'm going to put in one of these here. And no, I'm not. I'm going to put one of these in here, because then it'll link to the other one. We're just going to stockpile some bots up here for the time being, apparently. Right, here we go. Here they come to do the red chests. Bom, 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 bom. They must have just been sat somewhere as well. But now there's somewhere where they can come and dump stuff, so that's good. Yay! Here they come. So I must have had quite a lot of bots just hovering around, holding things that they couldn't get rid of, but I didn't notice. Oops. And there we go. There's some repair packs being made now, so we can get rid of these 34 damaged things around the factory. Basically, that's the plan here. I see. I was making repair packs because they're an ingredient for science. I just hadn't started pulling them off to put into a chest. Right, that makes sense. Yeah, I never saw that one coming. That was ridiculous. Yeah, I suppose I probably should check on the other chests. I don't care about them. I haven't unlocked them yet, so I don't care about them quite so much. Oh, that's another one that requires yellow. So let's just drop back to there. Destroy, don't care. Work broken, don't care. Yellow. Everything. Why is there a cat? Oh, to protect from Cheeseman, of course. Is that not requiring yellow? That doesn't require yellow. Let's get water. Water 2.2. Great. Lab research speed. Sure. What are you? Refined solid fuel. Sure. And let's have a mining productivity, because why not? No. Let's be careful not to get that one. Okay, so yes, good. Stuff is happening? How are we doing down here? Have we got... Okay, there we go. Yeah, we've got the flying robot frames are coming through. We've just only got 13 of them so far. I think maybe I should have a few more machines making the flying robot frames. Although that said, then I'll have to have a few more machines making the these motors, and then I'll need more machines making the this stuff, lube. So, but that's fine. We can work backwards. Flying robot frames. Here we go. So I want to take all of that. I want to go 1, 2, 3 like that, and lose the extra bit on the end there. And then these were perfectly balanced as all things should be. So let's take that and go 1, but actually you be like that, and you be like that. 3. So these make 0.3 engine units per second. These take 0.15. Okay, so one of these can run 2 of these, so that is more than enough. But they also take in 4.5 loops per second, and this makes 2 loops per second. So if I'm going to have 3 of those, I'm going to need 6 of these. So I'm going to put in a pipe here so that I can link everything up. And I'll copy that, and I'll go 1, 2... Oh wait, you need the inputs as well. 3. Okay, that's okay. I can drag the what's name on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I said 6, and I can bring the belt along here. And then when we start thinking about power, I can go, well, let's stop being silly and just use one of these guys, and that powers everything in the immediate vicinity. That's really, really easy. So that's good. Right. So the limiting factor here is potentially going to be the amount of Coca-Cola we're making, or the amount of lubricant we're making, but I'd rather chuck this in, see how it gets on, and then worry about it than try and do the numbers, because numbers are difficult. Silly problems call for silly solutions. Yes, they absolutely do, and there are many, many silly problems. Yeah, I very nearly did do self-troll myself with the repair packs. You are quite right there. And yeah, I don't know how. Sometimes I guess the point where I'm not sure how much of the when I find something that's pointing in the wrong direction, I don't know whether it's me being a muppet and just getting things wrong, or whether it's the game trolling me. And I guess that's part of the fun. Yeah. I think. Should I be? I think I should be prioritising the right output here, because this is my seahorse disposal route, and we do have plenty of seahorses at this point. That's a weird thing to say. Oh no, we need them for blue science. Never mind. Let's undo that. Let's take that off again. And there do seem to be plenty of seahorses being made and making their little whinny noises. Up here, I think I'm going to set an input priority for the right. So we're going to try and use the stuff coming through from the old patch first, just because we might as well. Although that does mean that we'll use that up, and then I'll have to run the belt backwards to get all of these places, and there's going to be all kinds of complications and tangles and difficulties like here. I'll have to loop around the top, but never mind. That's a future problem, and I feel like trying to use this patch up as much as I realistically can is a nice idea. We're making yellow science. We're 85% of the way through. Nice. 525 seconds. I probably should come through and put speed modules in some of these machines, but we'll see. Actually, the rate isn't too bad. It's just incredibly bursty. If we look at this, it's making about half per second, which isn't an amazing rate, but it's not too bad. 97, 98, 99. Oh, bing. And we're getting attacked again. Oh, goodness sake. Down there this time. Right. Oh, I don't have a car. Yeah. Remind me, once I've dealt with this attack, remind me to build another car, because they are kind of useful for getting places decently quickly. When you don't want to get your entire mining area eaten. Fortunately, I don't seem to be too far away. Still, it's annoying. Maybe I should actually... Now that I've got bots, it might be time to start putting turrets in. A turret wall around the entire universe. Oh, it's green ones this time. No wonder they're going through everything, like the proverbial hot knives through butter. But then my bullets seem to do the same. They feel like they're really tough, but I think it's just because I'm used to green biters being incredibly tough, and I'm just getting repeatedly trolled by it in the best possible way. Okay, let's get some turret wall set up. So where do they come from? Possibly. There isn't really anywhere that they should be coming from. But so maybe they're an expansion party, because you do get those. Oh, it's a rather big area now. Walling this off is going to be a task. And at least I've got this nice, lovely lake up here that makes things much easier than it could be. But I'm going to need a bit going across here, then probably across here. Is that just too ambitious? I'm trying to defend the cloud at this point as well, so bringing it across about this point, maybe getting this coal patch on the way past, and then over to here and up to here. That's a long old wall. I guess I better get started. So I've got a red ammo production facility here. It has produced some red ammo. I've got an additional one over here that's making small amounts for the grey science. I feel like it might be easier just to make another red ammo production facility at the bottom of the bus and have a belt go off from there. Or, I don't know. I don't know how much bigger my factory's going to get. That's part of the silliness of it. Build another car. Thank you. Yes, all right, let's build another car. Oh, yeah, I built tanks. Good point. Let's go nick one of those tanks. Because I have many tanks. Tanks are slower, of course, but they are tankier. And if I drive through rocks, then they won't turn into biters. Give me that. And if I get some solid... I'm making solid fuel somewhere, so if I can get some hold of some of that, then I'll be laughing. Right, so there we go. Anyway, as we were saying, we're now making yellow science, and that's the second batch of it I've seen in the time I've been going out and dealing with things. So yeah, there's the first batch going through there. So we now have... Well, soon we'll have the ability to do some of these yellow researches. And that's not too disappointing a quantity of it that's being made. So how are you doing for filling up with things? Okay, you're still short of flying robot frames, though. Those are still being made, unfortunately, slowly. And then up here we have machines that just aren't working because they don't have any engines, because they... Oh! Okay. I guess I won't be making any more red ammunition, because now we suddenly have a Greel shortage. Now that's not too... maybe I haven't linked the belt in, because we've got... Yes, I have linked it in. Is there a gap on it? Oh, no, there's too many fish on it. I remember that being a problem. Right, so yes, there was... This became an issue. And then when I was trying to fix it, I got confused by having belts that had a bajillion fish on them. Right, so this is going to be another fish belt. So we can dump the fish onto here. Right, I understand why I have no Greel now. That is annoying, but but it's, you know, when you understand why something is broken, it's not so bad, because you know what to do to go in and fix it. Right under time. Let's bring that to there, and then there, and no, not you, that. There to there, and I'll feed that in there, and flip that round. Right, so there we go. We're getting some belt being brought in and put in now. So we're slowly removing the fish. Could we remove the fish up a little bit more quickly, please? That would be very much appreciated. Does that mean these haven't finished? Yeah, these are still on products finish 0. It's only 35% done on its first attempt at building some Greel. That's ridiculous. Yes, tanks are definitely slower, but they're still quicker than walking. And maybe I could do... Maybe the mod will allow me to put exoskeletons in it or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. These bloomin' fish, honestly. I'm still not sure what proportion fish I should be upgrading and what proportion I should be turning into nuclear fish. Where are my nuclear fish going to? Okay, they're all collecting on a belt here because I don't know what to do with them at this point. How far have I upgraded my fish? So the best fish are all being put out onto this belt that brings them down. I say best fish, current best fish, over to here where they get another upgrade and another upgrade, and then they go to here, and then so down here I've got 460 fish 9s. Where's that? Why there? I'm going to be there before I find my tank. There's the tank. What? Oh, no wonder they're cheap. The tank is not a tank. The tank is a tank. Stop it. Not big and it's not clever. Right, there we go. You know what? Since this area is getting attacked so much, I'm going to stick into some fun turrets across the bottom here. Like that and that. And then I'm going to give them half a stack each, like that. So yeah, as I just discovered, the tank... oh, what? Okay, lovely. I appreciate not having had to put fuel into it, but I don't think I did. Oh no, it's picked up. It's got some coal and some fish automatically. Why is there a fish in the? Oh, because it's burning coal. That's why. This might be the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. No, it's not. I'm sure I've seen much more ridiculous things than this, but this is quite a ridiculous thing. Yeah. So when I first saw it, I initially went, oh, for goodness sake, because I thought the tank was going to just be. It was going to be like when you put down the actual plant and it is just a tree, and you don't get the chemical plant you were expecting. But no, it is actually. It appears to be a tank. It just looks like a tank. Yeah. I now have a... Oh no, don't go into the thing. Fine. At least it bounced off and didn't get stuck in it. That did quite a lot of damage, actually. Yeah, so at least it is actually a working tank. So, yeah. When I got it out of my inventory and was about to put it down and saw the blueprint was a tank, as in a fluid tank, I thought, oh, for goodness sake, it's not going to be a vehicle I can use to drive around and kill biters in. But it turns out it is, so that's all right. Right, we'll park my slightly soggy looking tank here and swim back out of it, and let the bots repair it. Yeah, next time I need to go out and kill some biters, I shall definitely use it. Okay, so where was I? Quick question: has it actually been dark all stream, or is it just I only notice when it's dark and it's the old It has actually been dark all stream. Okay, thank you. Right, there go the fish. Good. So they're flowing now. And that means the greel has gone to here, where it's now being fed into the system. It's got to here so far, and it's all disappearing into all the places that need the greel and have been starved of it because we ran out of it. However, I have now fixed the production problems with it, so we can chuck a few more of those through, hopefully. And we've got a solid red belt of iron going into the processing here. And there's 8,200 in there, and it takes 5,000 to run. So it's 60% of the way to making. Actually, it's going. Yeah, of course, it's going at exactly the right speed because iron and actually no, it should be going a bit quicker. Ah, because I haven't got enough inserters here. Oh well, never mind. It's probably fast enough. In that, yeah, we're at 9,000 when this has got, so that's at 80% of it being filled back up again, and this is only at slightly under 70% of having processed. So we're making the iron fast enough for this to process it all, and we're also producing a bit of extra iron that's going up to these greelers up here, which is still only at 39% done. I should put some speed modules in those. I should make some speed modules. I want to have a second one of these. I'm going to put in a second one. It's not going to do anything for a very, very, very long time, but I'm going to put it in anyway because I'd like to see it. I'd like to have that actually build. Right, modules. I want to have some speed modules because that greel production is ridiculous. I'd also like to have some productivity modules because the motors are excessively expensive. So let's have a look at this. Seahorse event circuit, electric circuit, Seahorse event circuit, protein needs to be one. So it's vanilla, except that it requires lots and lots of seahorses. And 4 of each of the previous ones. 4 normal? I have absolutely no idea whether 4 is a normal number. 15 seconds crafting time, 30 second crafting time, 60 second crafting time. Okay, so 2 machines to each next one up on the tiers would be balanced. That's interesting. So, let's see if we can squeeze this in here where there's not very much space to play. So I put in 2 machines making tier 1, and then 1 machine making tier 2, and then 1 machine making tier 3. What do you mean you can't build on dirt 1? Are you telling me there are... I don't know what happened there. Right, let's try it again. So, concrete goes here. And not here. Don't need that bit. Then put one of these on here. Okay, now it seems to be working. I am very confused. Bah. Can't quite get these laid out so that I can direct insert all the way through. Unless I do... I don't have diagonal insert. I'll do a poor man's diagonal inserter. So, that to there and there. That to there and there. No. Ah! There and there. And then we can do there and there. And I think that's the right ratios to make everything in it, to have all the machines working all the time. So do that and that. And then I go, hang on a minute, I need to feed ingredients into these things. So we actually go, maybe instead this one will go here. And these flip round. And round. And there, no. Oh. Not flipping round. What I actually want to do is put long inserters in there and there. Those are the most important. Those are the ones that have to go in those specific places. Then we can just load the ingredients in like that, and that's absolutely fine. And we can run a belt through the middle of here. That's going to have red, blue circuits and seahorses on it, which is obviously not going to work. Bother. Double bother, because that isn't going to work for this one either. Oh. It was obviously far too easy, because it don't work. I guess I can move this one up one. Like that. Move this up one. Move these up one. There we go. So yeah, that'll still work, because then I can put this here, which means I can put this here and this here, like that. So that's the blue and red circuits being fed into both of these. We also need green and red onto this one. So we'll have... Let's do a little bit of the setup here. So we'll have blue circuits coming in here, red circuits coming in here, green circuits coming in here, green circuits coming in here. I don't know why that's a red splitter. Let's make it a yellow splitter instead. Move that back one. So things will actually, fit. That there, and then there. And then there's the seahorse problem. So I guess the answer to that is to make these into long inserters as well, and go, well, actually, I would like to move this out, bonk, bonk, to there. So we can extend that across the top there, remove these from there, and then turn them into long inserters there and there and there and there. That looks silly, but it'll totally work. And then I run a seahorse belt down here and up here, like that. Also, don't need so much of that. So we want seahorses going in there, and in there, and there, and there, and there, and there, and there. Why are you not undergrounding? If we could underground, that'd help. And then I go, oh wait, this whole thing should be one square lower down, so that I don't have to squeeze the seahorses in here, but I think it'll probably work. Yeah, I think I agree, Boardies. Yes, I do prefer to put a belt in when I do that. As you say, it looks nicer. I would agree with that. Right, and I think we're out of robo range here. We are. So let's put in another one of these. Where are the? I don't even. I've lost track of how my robo grid is supposed to be set up. Okay, so that one's up there. It's supposed. Okay, so my next robo port is supposed to be there, but I can't put it there because there's an underground belt in the way. So I guess I'll put it there. It's still linked in. It feels a little bit dodgy to put it there, but it's kind of okay. And that reaches down to that belt. What was it, top or bottom of that belt? Bottom of that belt. Right. There. Right. That's a bit more robo coverage. And so I can probably... Ooh, here's a thought. I can then copy this to here. Have that continue under there. Get rid of this bit. Have this continue to there. And this to there. And then I can make all of these efficiency modules instead. I mean productivity modules. I don't have efficiency modules. I know why I don't have efficiency modules, because they're stored in the green section because they are. They're over. Oh, no, they're not. Have I not? You probably maybe have to make them in a silly building or something like that. I just haven't noticed because I haven't tried to make any efficiency modules because they are the least important modules. Okay, so this is seahorses. Let's go and find the seahorses. Seahorses. Boom. So I want to put in a splitter here. Nope, here. And then doop, 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 doop. Boop. There we go. That's easy. Here's blue circuits. Blue circuits go into the top one because they're only required for this lane over here. That's really convenient. I'm glad I had them this way around because this can fit there as well without getting in the way of the underground belts. This is why I like to usually leave a gap between my belts like that when I'm putting in stuff on the bus, because imagine if these two were the other way around, then this underground belt would have gone smack into all the stuff where it's pulling the stuff out there. Fortunately, these happen to be the right way around, so I got away with it. Next up is red circuits. Bring them down to here. And in this case, yes, the underground belts were all there, and it's sort of but not in the way. I can put that in there, and actually, I've got potential for an extra space here because this is the it's feeding into a splitter here, so that it could have gone into either one of those. But it's fine like that. That works nicely. Up here, I have done things very weirdly and very wrongly. That's going to need a bit of fiddling with, and I'm going to go and do that by hand because it's a bit easier to tweak this sort of thing by hand like this than to try and get the bots to do it remotely. And the bots you can do it remotely by bot, but you end up with chucking a lot of stuff into the logistics system. And I haven't set anything up to pull things out of the logistics system yet, apart from accidentally putting it all onto a fish belt earlier. So there we then have the greens coming down here. They splat off there and they go into there. Nice. Okay, so when all this is built, I think that's just straight up going to start making all the productivity, all the modules that I want. I am going to need to put them into. There's a bit missing there. I'm going to need to put them all into boxes though. So we'd like to have I don't have any boxes, of course, but we would like to put them into boxes nonetheless. So let's go over here and then say it's yellow chest. Let's get this right. Yellow chest goes there and there. Oh, apparently I do have yellow chests. I'm just in the way. How odd. I did not know I had those. And we'll limit those to, I think, 3 slots. It's going to be expensive to fill them up to that point, but I think I'm going to get through quite a lot of these guys. And then I'm going to need a Roboport over here to actually pick them up and take them away. There we go. Right, that's modulicious. Or it would be if I got the green, if I was getting the green circuits coming through. So that should now do, yeah, that should give me all the modules I need. So now I can think about coming over here and going, well, these things are ridiculously slow. So I would like to put speed module 3s into these. I'm going to start at this end and hopefully remember to come back and put more in when I later. Actually, no, let's just do them all. What the hell? It's not going to take that long, is it? Maybe it is. And I'll do these as well, because if I'm running these machines at an increased speed, I need to run these ones at an increased speed as well in order to keep up. In fact, how is my power doing now? Right, okay, power is okay. Bracking up and down, but we're only using 3/4 of it. So the fix over here, where we're now pulling out a huge amount of water, has sorted it. However, I may need to put in another copy of this at some point just to produce that bit more power, because I suspect once I start using modules, it's going to go through the roof. How are we doing over here? So concrete is being made constantly. That's good. That's what we like to see. Sulfuric acid, we have filled the pipes up again, so that's good too. This has clearly been enough pumps. Now I do wonder how long how we're getting on with trying to rebuild that supply of offshore pumps, because I know they're horrendously expensive. Oh no, it's got there. No, it hasn't. There's 99 yellow belts floating through the autumn sky. That I can see this is going to be a recurring problem. I'm going to be coming along here and going, why are you full of trash that you shouldn't have? There's going to be a lot of boxes that have the wrong thing in them, and that's quite upsetting. I'm sort of glancing along here to see if there's any that leap out at me as I pan across. It's also an especially subtle troll, because I didn't notice because everything worked, hence which is why I didn't notice. So you can sort of use a yellow chest as a red chest in default. You can use a storage chest as a provider chest, and it works until things get fed back into it and things put in the wrong chests, and then you start to have your problems. No, that should be a storage chest. That one, storage chest. These all seem to be okay at a glance, as far as I can tell. Yeah, so there probably are some other boxes around which have the wrong thing in it. Oh, probably in a greenhouse. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, I knew it was going to be something green with the problem. Oh no, it's light. It's light now, I think, or is it? Yeah, it's daylight now. Dawn has finally broken. I don't know what the day-night cycle is like at the moment. I don't know if I can tell, but yeah, it's very, very. It finally is daytime now. Maybe night is longer than day. That's possible. Oh, that's a good point. Oh, that's an even better point. Yes, I should have put these between. I should put that. Yeah, left a gap between them and put the other module in the module builder in between the two. Yeah, that would have been a much more sensible way to lay it out, and it would look neater too. And I wouldn't have needed quite as much beltery going around. I wouldn't need it to have. Is it worth rebuilding it to make it neater? I'm not going to have to do too much reconstruction, I guess. So yeah, let's do that. Let's take this then. So if I put that all the way down here, yeah. If I put that there, and then I put this one there, and then put this one there. Then we don't need that. Don't need that or that. That can just be a belt going straight through. Don't need that. Do need that. There. And we need to have that. Oh, actually, you know what? I could put that there. It fits in nicely. Don't need that, but do need that, that, and that, and that. And then... Oh, no, it doesn't work. No, I haven't lined up things up properly. I need more of a gap than that. Yeah, this all needs to be down one. That needs to be there, so we can get those into it from there. And then these... Get rid of all of that, all of that, all of that, all of that, all of that. Blah, 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 blah. Right. Then... So there's my two. So these then need to be moved down to opposite of that one, like so. All of this is probable nonsense. Let's get rid of all of this. This is correct, although it needs the inputs on that side, which is why it hasn't kicked in. So there we go. We can make the ones. They feed over to make the twos. I don't know what you're doing there. Clearly nothing, which is fine. We need seahorses for the twos as well. Twos is getting its modules from over here. Let's move that down. Keep these in the middle just because it looks nice. And then we've got the 3 in the middle there. That's getting its circuits from there and its seahorses from there. And then this one is going to get those from there and that from there. That's fine as well. They also need their inputs like so. And their seahorses like so. You're going to need seahorses too, as well as your circuits. There we go, that's running. And then I'm going to need to unload to over here somewhere to put the module somewhere, because there's nowhere else to put them now. Right, so put that there, and then we need a appropriate colour chest, which is a yellow chest, to go there. And I said I wanted to make 3 stacks of them, didn't I? Okay, yeah, that is nicer and neater and smaller and compacter and just generally better. Then I'm going to pull out all of this. Yay, I made a speed module 3 and I get achieved for it. Lovely. And then I don't need any of this belt. Hey, I can swim. Don't need any of that. And I can then just copy all of this from there to there. And then just reprogram all of these to be productivity modules. That one. You're a prod 2, like that. And then you're a prod 3, like that. And I'm standing in the way. No, I'm not. It just hasn't got any concrete. Pick up that, pick up that. The rest I'll leave. The rest is fine. Okay, I think that's mostly good. I need another... Let the seahorses through there, and then have all of that. You have. It does amuse me that the game whinnies every time you do anything with seahorses. I appreciate it. Oh, let's get rid of those and those because I'm not using them anymore. And those are just. I don't know. Carrying this stuff around is a waste of inventory space, but also chucking it into the logistics system is a bit pointless because I'm not taking it out again. But never mind. I think it's probably worth just clearing some of that out. Right. Okay. So that's my speed modules are being made. Productivity modules would be made if I had more seahorses, but that's kind of fine. I'll just let it run, and it'll. As we have the resources to produce stuff, then we can produce stuff down here. That's kind of okay. Why are we so short of blue circuits? We have 30% full over here. This belt is full. Okay, we've overloaded our fish supply. Huh? Why aren't these fish getting through? Because we're not using the grape fish up. How do I get rid of grape fish? Is there a turn grape into normal? I need, yeah, like this. Is there a turn grape fish into normal fish recipe or grape fish destruction? Yeah, the get rid of grape fish. Okay, there we go. We'll do that. So the grape fish go out up here, and then they go in over here, where we turn them into better fish. But I think if we just do that, and then have one of these over here that is getting rid of grape fish, they'll be prioritised for the fish upgrades, sure. But then we can just get rid of them. Except we can't, not in that building. What does it need? Tell me more. Needs to be done in a... Oh no, we should be able to. It's not there though. Okay, it needs an assembly machine too. Fine. We'll, I mean, assembly machine 2 is a thing we can do. Poetry, completely unintentional. Get rid of grape fish. There we go. And yeah, we've got loads of. I say we've got loads of power. I don't even know if we've got power down here. I don't think we have. Let's put in a thingy what's it? There we go. All right, concrete will arrive. Grape fish will be graped. And can we have the inserter, please? Seriously? Where's my inserter? Oh, there it is. Okay, it is on its way. I did not expect... Well, no, I did not expect seahorses to be such an integral part of Factorio. Yeah, I had a... Yeah, so I nuked a cliff. This bit here got nuked, and unfortunately that took out a chunk of my... low density structure construction, this area, which meant I lost some of my nuclear. So I lost at least a couple of nuclear power plants, which is very upsetting because they are kind of pricey. And actually, I think I need to go along here and hook up some more of hook up some more of these and tell them to stop hogging. And I need to I need to clear the LDS off these belts over here. I was going to say I'll get the bots to do it, but if I do that, then I'll have... If I get the bots to do it, then I'll have a load of LDS in my logistics system, which is a bit silly. Oh, what I could do, I guess, is just feed this round here for a moment. Or actually, since I'm standing right there and hadn't realised, I could just come around here and go... Oop, nom 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 nom. I don't need that many tanks. Nom 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 nom. There we go, that's getting a little bit further along now. And you know what, I'm just going to put these in here so that people empty out onto the belt in a remotely sensible way. Yes, the red and yellow. Yes, I'm very glad you didn't tell me about that, because when I found it, it was very confusing, and then but also quite funny because yeah, I'd been trying to work out what on earth where. Yeah, firstly, I'd made a couple of these furnace stacks in pocket crafted because I needed one over here, and then when I dumped them into the logistics system so that they get built, and they got put into. There was one red chest that was being emptied onto the belts, and they got dumped into that. So I had this belt, the belt that has all of my advanced fish on it, wherever that is, I think it's this one, was full of whatever trash had been picked up. So those are on it. There were a load of yellow belts. There were a load of medium pylons, lots and lots of stuff that had just been picked up and dumped onto this belt. So it was a mess, and it was a bit ridiculous, but. Yeah, I was entertained when I worked out what had caused it. So yes, and yes, it is a lot more fun finding these things out, working these things out, and finding them out myself rather than having somebody tell me about them. Oh, we are not disposing it. We're not splatting the grapefish fast enough. Why are you stopped? Oh, it requires rage. Okay, it requires normal fish to turn grapefish into. Okay, so where can I get some normal fish from around here? Hey, Prod Mod 3. There just aren't any. This is all advanced fishery pokery. I could I could set this up to prioritise taking the fish out that way. I guess, yeah, I'm going to have to do something a bit more complicated here, I think, which is a bit of a pain / shame. Okay, well, let's do the needful, I suppose. So, up here. Yes, okay, it's all very, very jammed. Right, so come to here. Pull up a bit of that. Replace it with some red underground, just to give me some space to work with. Like that. What? No. Place this with a red underground. To give me some space to work with. That'll do. No, that isn't going to work either. That reaches, that reaches. Right, so what I want to do here is have a priority to the left, but then also no, not here. I was right the first time. Here, I want priority to the left. And then I'll put I'll put that machine right here in the middle of the bus because I'm a monster. So I can put that here and put an inserter here and then put a red inserter here and filter that one to fish like that. And then do the fish disposal here. So the theory of my theory here is that we end up with the grape fish on one side of the belt and the regular fish on the other. So it neatens out the flow there. That's fine. But if there's an excess of grape fish, then they'll come out through this inserter and then they'll be put into this machine. But if there isn't an excess, they'll carry on up here because I want to use them if I can. And then this inserter will grab any fish that are floating past in order to then dispose of the excess grape fish. I think this should work. I just need to wait for the yellow. No, I just need to wait for the blue inserter to arrive. Can I have some more bot speed, please? I don't know if we've got 250 science packs, but we're going to give it a darn good try. Oh, that's still running because that requires. That says 5,000 research. Okay, let's swap those over. See if we have got 250 science packs to do the work of Robot Speed 4. Because I am very impatient. Especially when there's no sign of the bots. What you doing? Maybe I could nick that one. You can't do anything for the moment anyway. So let's do that. Control Z. No, no, you stupid bots. Give me that. Oh, it's arrived now anyway. Fine. Be like that. See if I care. Right, so there we go. Now if there's an excess of grape fish, they'll be passed into this machine. There's lots of fish around, and hopefully there will continue to be lots of fish around, so we can get rid of the. So we'll have enough. Normal fish to dispose of them without any problems, and we'll see how it goes. So at the moment we're still trying to get rid of quite a lot of normal fish from here, but as this empties out we'll then be able to get rid of some of these grape fish, which means that'll start running again. Everything should now be okay. I say in a very, very optimistic tone of voice. I don't think we're producing grape fish anywhere else. No, we're not. We're just taking them up here to be made into more advanced fish. So having this here should be okay. We can chuck the grape and the normal fish through as much as we like. Should all be fine. I'm not doing a proper split here, which is a little bit of a bother. Oh, no, not that pipe. I want that pipe. It's not connected to anything, but it should be there. This can probably be a belt that goes straight through. So what I'm going to do now is yes, this is basically working. It's a little bit slow because we've got a backlog of grape fish to work through, but it's basically working. I am going to move this down and put in a proper side thing because I don't like the way the risk that if I put grape fish on the port side of the belt later, that they'll end up on the wrong side of the belt after this. So this is wrong, but works for the time being. But at the moment we're just trying to churn these ones out of here. Yeah, the low density structures were a bad spot because because it blew up a load of my nuclear power plants and nuclear reactors, and they're pricey. They're 500 of everything to make, which is frankly ridiculous. And you're an evil sadist. I don't have any red circuits. That's because when I was messing around with this, I broke it. Fine, that's an acceptable reason to not have any red circuits, I guess. There we go. Wait, that's not going to give me space for it to do what I wanted to do. I cry. Because I was going to move that down. Oh, no, well, it's fine. Put that there. That goes there, then there, and there. So I do have enough space. Just. I've got a couple of fish in the wrong place there. Let's do something about that. There we go. Nom 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 nom. Delicious fish. Oh, don't take all of my fish. Okay, so there we go. This is now doing what I would expect it to do. If it's keeping this is keeping itself stocked up with fish, so that it can demolish the grape flavoured fish as required, and any grape flavoured fish that come through will first go off this way to go for fish upgrades. But when we have an excess of them, they'll go the other way in the splitter and they'll be taken up by this machine. Right, okay, that's all working again now. So we've got the blue circuits flowing at the sort of, I guess, the rate that we expect them to be flowing at. We've got a quantity of blue circuit juice. I suppose it might be enough. Got a reason. No, we've got some tar to make into coke. It's kind of working. Yeah, we don't. Okay, everything is now a bit too slow. So that's okay, because it just means we need to expand it, which is going to be an absolute nightmare with this system over here, but we'll find a way. We've got plenty of room out here to the east, so I'll try and put something in there. However, we do have now a supply of blue circuits, which are allowing us to make the yellow science, Slurpee juice. The limiting factor for that is now the electric motors that are being made into the robot frames that are being made into that are part of the science pack. So that is delayed. It is keeping that a little slow, but we did manage to get that 200. We did have 250 available to do the research over there, so that's good. We've got modules being made now. That's really exciting. Don't have very many of them, but some of them presumably have come over here. Yes, they've been put in machines that aren't doing anything. Well done there. There are some machines that are doing things down here, so that's slightly better, but still, goodness sake. Put them in a sensible place first. At least do the nearest ones first, because those are the ones that need them. Oh, rage. Yes, advanced. Oh yeah, advanced circuit. Well, advanced circuits are, yes, making lots and lots of seahorses, and some of those are actually being turned into fish. Oh, you meant down here where I wanted some fish. Yeah, I suppose I could have no, where it was. Here. There aren't any red circuits around here though, so that wouldn't have been a good way to do it. No, that wouldn't have helped. I wanted to do it with stuff that I had available in the area. No, the fish side loader is a sort of problem if it jams up. The problem was that I had too many grape fish, and they were pushing back all the way down here, and then blocking the actual fish from doing anything else, from getting out and going away to be processed. So no, that the actual problem was the grape, having too many grape fish. So disposing of some of those sorts that out. Thank you. I'm glad you appreciate the design. So down here, the tar from the advanced grape juice processing will be turned into additional grape juice springs, but only if there's more than 10 lube on this little bit of belt here. So I think that actually shouldn't be 10. It probably should be a larger number. It should just be turned off completely, probably, because there isn't enough tar to make all of this. So yeah, let's rotate that machine so it won't run at all. I wonder if I could pull the stuff out of it. Also, it smells of weed again. That's making my throat hurt. I'm going to have to close the window. Yeah. Unfortunately, the air conditioner is in the way, which makes this difficult. There we go. Fear my cardboard engineering. Where was I? Thank you. I'm glad you appreciated it. So up here, the tar is being turned into. Oh no, up here the tar is being turned into grape juice patches. So I've made 5 of them, and so the overflow from the pionidin science is being turned into grape spring patches, but the rest of it is being turned into cola down here. So at the moment, I'm wondering whether my factory is running too slowly because there we go. There's some lube being made now. I'm wondering whether there's an insufficiency of stuff. No, sorry, there is an insufficiency of stuff. However, I'm wondering if I increase the rate that I'm making the blue circuits at, because the blue circuits are getting gobbled up pretty quickly down here for making the science packs and making the modules. Is that if I make them faster, is that going to produce enough lube for keeping these motors being produced? I feel like the answer is probably not, and I am going to have to introduce this and then start feeding the cola through, and then doing goodness knows what with the other outputs that it generates. Probably maybe making plastic out of them or something like that. But I suspect at least when I'm doing lots of production of modules, I'm probably going to, because that eats quite a lot of blue circuits, I'm making enough blue circuits to keep that happy is probably going to keep the lube happy as well. Probably. No certainty, of course, but that's my sort of gut feeling as to how I expect it to go. It's really weird seeing these dropping out a load of lube and then having some fish appear as well. It's very strange. Slippery fish. The cardboard engineering has lasted at least, certainly used it last year. I can't remember if I used it the year before. It is the same piece of cardboard. I am an engineer, so there's a fair amount of duct tape in there, or actually gaffer tape in there as well. So it is reasonably robust. But yes, one of the things somewhere on my to-do list is to upgrade it to a big sheet of plywood. I had to go plywood engineering instead of cardboard engineering, but I just haven't got round to it. Also, the nice thing about cardboard is it's a little bit flexible. So basically, what that is it's a big panel, big square of cardboard with the extractor fan's hose clip thing that you're supposed to put in the window stuck on the side of it. So I can have the hose go into that, and then I can just sort of cram the cardboard square to fill the rest of the window and stop the hot air from outside getting back in again. The good thing about cardboard is it's a bit squishy, so I can sort of, it doesn't have to be exactly the right size, and I can just sort of push it into the window and it'll go in relatively nicely. If I do it with plywood instead, it's going to be a lot less squishy, and I'm going to have to make it exactly the right size and maybe have little cutouts for the window latch bits and pieces and so on. So yeah, it is by surface area, it is mostly cardboard. I'm trying to, and it's now also stuck behind the radiator. By surface area, it's mostly cardboard, but there's a certain amount of gaffer tape holding on some additional ribs and holding a couple of bits together and so on to make it a bit more robust and a bit stronger, a bit more structural. I should do that thing some people do where they have 2 modes for their for when they're transmitting. One which is the sort of the webcam full screen, and the other that is the other that's everything as it is here. which all this around me at the moment. And then when you're starting and ending the stream, you go to the full screen camera because you're talking to people and then you can see you properly. And then if I want to show you my cardboard engineering, then there's a bit more webcam visible and that sort of thing. But I don't think it's really necessary because I don't do show and tell very often. It's mostly just let's look at the game that I'm playing, which is far more relevant and far more interesting, probably. Certainly more interesting than the stuff that's behind me. Right. Yes. So I think the next thing to do is going to be to expand this. Now, I could just come along and chuck some speed modules in it. That might be the most sanity safe way of expanding it. I could put speed modules in these as well, actually. Let's do that. So let's go and steal the speed modules out of the furnaces because they've been putting the wrong ones anyway, and it's basically useless. And then let's go and put them in the advanced soda production because I've done all the pipe work for that, and therefore it's much easier to carry on with it as it is. Maybe I'll put some speed modules in the right machines as well. So that's dumb. There's no point in having that in there. In fact, let's get rid of all of these requests as well. Otherwise, the same thing will just happen again. Alright, if you're actually doing stuff, then I don't mind you having speed modules in, but none of you actually do. Well, no, one of you actually does. Let's give each of them one speed module for the time being, if I can find the darn things. There they are. Oop, you already had one. There we go. Right, so they've got one speed module each. Ghost, please. Oh, apparently I can't ghost. And now I've only got one left, so that hasn't helped very much. No, I don't. No, I'm happy to say I don't have pets. I'm not an animal. Not generally a fan of animals. No desire to have ones that make my house smell. Got a car. Fun car, but I don't think that would really fit with the. It wouldn't fit in here with me. And the camera wouldn't be that wide an angle. It would be, granted, yes, it would be wider than what I've got at the moment. Because I've cropped it down quite heavily for what you see there to the bit that actually matters, i.e. me. But the rest of the room isn't particularly exciting. There's a bookcase full of junk, and there's a couple of there's a map of Scadrial up on the wall behind me, and if anyone knows where Scadrial is, I will be fairly impressed. Yes, the speed modules in the iron smelting part are limited by belt capacity. In fact, in a way, the steel part is sort of pointless as well because it's also limited by the input belt capacity. But it would be nice to get some of it through from there. Yeah, it's true. It probably is completely pointless having them in there, unless I go in and put in some better speed, some better belts. Right, so I can put 3 modules in there. Are these guys running flat out? How full are your pipes? Yes, that's full as well. So okay, let's give everything let's give that one some as well. How full are your input pipes? That is not very full. Also not very full. You might not need them then. Okay, so that has now at one fell stroke. Where's the speed? Where's the speed? Where's the speed? There's the speed. More than doubled. Multiplied my production rate by 2.5 times. However, now the inserter here feeding in the green circuits and the coal can't keep up. I need to set up some requests here. Right, I would always like to have red belts. I would always like to have red undergrounds. I would always like to have red splitters. I'd always like to have blue inserters. I'd like to always have substations. I'd like to always have, what else? Oh, long inserters. Probably pipes, to be honest. They're quite useful. That'll do. I'll do for now. I'm sure I'll think of more things as I go along. Personal Wi-Fi on. I don't need that many tanks. Let's have 2 tanks. Alright, so there we go. We've got a bit more capacity for loading this thing up now. Where's the steam being fed in from? Oh, it is actual steam, right. Which I can't module. Okay, well that's causing a bit of a bottleneck, isn't it? It's a massive bottleneck. Right, okay. I have no idea how I'm going to fix this. How I'm going to get more steam in there. No, putting in... I was going to say, shall I put in a better type of fuel? But no, that wouldn't help. You're running flat out. Better fuel wouldn't help because it's still running at exactly the same speed. It's just the blocks of fuel would last longer. And this is a bit too tight in here to get another jet of steam in. That's true. Yeah, yes, gasket, some sort of gasket material on the plywood would make sense. I'm not sure if I've got anything suitable, but I'm sure I could find something suitable. Basically, I've got some rubber grommets somewhere. What I need is just one really, really long grommet, so all that same sort of thing. It's just rubber with a U-shaped piece of rubber. So yeah, I'm sure I can find something like that. So that makes a lot of sense. It's good thinking. This doesn't have another steam input. The steam has to come from here. I could potentially... I can't put a pipe there because it would clash with that one. I can't put a pipe anywhere across here. In fact, I can't put a pipe there because it clashes with that one and it would clash with that fizz output. This is a difficult problem. I think this might be a place where I need to go, okay, I've learned how it works now, let's do it again somewhere else, but differently. Yeah, an old inner tube, that could work. I think I might have some old inner tubes. I've certainly got some in my bike that are fairly old, but that's just because I haven't used it for ages. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to say next time I will redo this area because it is horrible and insufficient. And then I'll try and work out whether I need to also have some of these running. No, some of these running in order to produce additional cola. Because at the moment, I clearly don't have enough cola because there is no there's no lube available. But if I start producing enough blue circuits, that might produce enough cola as a byproduct. Because there is quite a lot. There is a certain amount of lube coming out over here. It's just coming in fits and starts because it's just whenever we have a bit of enough processing going on over here, and there's not enough steam coming through here. And due to the logistical difficulties of this mod, I don't know how I'm going to get more steam into this area. Yes, this is tricky. I think I'm going to leave that as a problem for next time, though. So, are there any? Ooh, there's a crisis down there. Let's get the tank out and go and deal with that crisis because I don't want my factory to get eaten. And I know I was saying earlier, stupid thing. I know I was saying earlier that I would quite like to go and do some, set up some turret walls around the factory, but I just haven't. That is going to be just a job for the bots, but I need to set it up, and yeah, lazy. Right, okay, time to circle strafe. Come to me, my bitey friends. Can we do some shooting? Oh, right. Yep, we've had some evolution. These things are getting tougher. Get lost. Leave me alone. This isn't actually what circle strafing means, but there are similarities. The tank health seems to be holding up pretty well. I don't know whether I'm just not getting attacked by the biters, or whether it's just really tough, or whether the biters are really weak. But yeah, and I've been Coward. Where are you going? You going off to get reinforcements? Yes, you were. Fine. I didn't know they did that. Do I have any repair packs? I don't have any repair packs. Let's do this one as well while I'm over here. Okay, so as previously mentioned, the combat in fun mode feels nice and easy, which I kind of appreciate because combat not my favourite part of Factorio, as I've said many times in the past. So being able to go through the biters like a hot knife through butter is quite satisfying. Okay, there's some more over there. I've still got 3/4 of my tank left. That should be fine. Just advancing towards the rear, yes. Of course, if I am going to make a better window seal for the aircon out of plywood or something like that, then I should also upgrade to having 2 hoses going out the window instead of 1, which means I need to probably work out how and 3D print another hose thing on the back of to go on the back of the aircon unit, and then also buy another hose. Not that that's a particularly challenging thing, because apparently I hear that, and I don't fully understand this, but I've heard it said enough times that I'm sort of believe it's true, that for a portable air conditioner unit like the one I've got, if you have just the hot hose going out of the window, it's a lot less efficient and a lot less effective than if you have the intake going out of the window as well. So you have 3 ports on an aircon unit. There's the one for the cold air to come out of, which you obviously want blowing into the room because that's the whole point of the thing. Then there's the one for the hot air to go out of, which you want going outside, obviously, because you want to get rid of the heat. And then there's the intake, and normally they tend to just pull in the air from in the room. But you can potentially also have them going outside the room as well. Uh-oh. Everything's gone wrong. This tank is doomed, I think. I can't see what's going on in there. There's too many biters. Okay, tank might not be doomed. Let's try it on foot. This is probably going to go badly wrong. Yes, there's the third one, the third hole, the air intake, which generally on these sort of machines when you buy them, I was right-clicking like a loon. I wasn't pressing shift that time, so I don't know. Oh well, we'll leave those guys alone for now. Anyway, the other one generally just pulls air in from inside the room, and the idea behind the theory behind that being less efficient is you're then pulling in additional air from elsewhere in the house into the room, which is supposedly makes it less efficient. But alternatively, you're pulling in, which pulls more air warmer air into the room and makes it less effective. Whereas alternatively, you're pulling in hotter air from outside and then cooling that down further. So that also seems like it's not going to be any more efficient, but apparently it is. Hence, I don't entirely understand the logic behind it, but I've been told by enough people that it's the case that I'm tempted to believe them. Oh yes, you're right. I had the wrong trousers on. You're quite right, Gromit. Hello, Mitchell. Yes, you are indeed very late. I shall be leaving fairly soon. Yeah, so the tank survived, but I didn't. So that was fun. That went well. What's going on here? Why are there? Where are these fish supposed to be going? Are they meant to be going that way? No, they're not. Are they? Can they go that way though? Yes, they have been eaten up by the fish machines over there. So let's do that. No, not that. Got stuck on a belt. That. And then that. I need to get rid of these fish, because then I can get rid of these belts as well, and they stop being there and annoying me. Oh, I got some fish. Fish 3, in fact. Gosh, luxury. Have my fish 3. Okay, so now we do a bit of waiting for my body to come back, and then we can just pretend none of that happened because it was very embarrassing. So, and I have now defended my pollution cloud once again. There's some up there that are a bit close, but we'll deal with them sooner or later. So yeah, things. I think this is time to start doing sort of do the wrap up. So today I have made yellow science. Where is it? Yellow science. Here we go. It's not being made as quickly as I would like. There are some supply issues with lube mostly, and then down here making the modules tier 1, tier 2. Ooh, that's what I should be doing. There we go. This machine up here shouldn't have those in. No. You should actually have these in, and then we'll get more. Is that going to help? No, because this stage wasn't wasn't struggling. It was this stage that was struggling. Can you take these? No. Oh, lube is not an intermediate. Of course, lube's an intermediate product. Don't be silly. Oh, productivity modules cannot be used in an unboiler. Okay, fine. Be like that. So we'll prod mod that. How's it doing with its steam refills? Okay, it's still struggling to have enough steam, so I think prod modding that is the right thing to do, at least for now. And then prod mods in those two will also help quite a bit because we'll get more. We'll get more lube out the bottom than for the amount of stuff we're putting in, so that's good. Making lube more productive would be too slick. Oh, very good. See what you did there. Right, so yes, the blue science, no, the yellow science is limited by lube production. The modules are limited by seahorse production, which is also ridiculous, but there you go. There's quite a lot of them flowing through, but I guess we're just using them all. So, there's quite a lot going in over here to be made into nuclear reactors as well. Because of course there is. And the supply of them up, here we go, here, is, I mean, there's quite a good few flowing through there. But we do seem to have a bit of a shortage of plastic coming through, so that might be the next thing to look into, to try and increase that, and then upgrade this to a red belt. We'll get more seahorses coming through, we'll get more red circuits coming through, which is also going to be useful. And just generally have the whole thing here playing a bit more nicely. I could get some more science going, I suppose. Uranium ammo would be fun. I don't think it's neat. Oh, I keep dying. Uranium ammo is clearly needed. There's another widget to investigate. Let's invent that for fun. I sort of want to get that in case it's a really, really, really good pistol, but I think it is just it's just making a pistol. So we'll do that when we've got too much science. Beacons, sure, could be nice. I'd more worker rebel speed. I can have another one of those. We're gonna have some more bonk damage. Bonk damage isn't always nice. I've made a. Ooh, I should make artillery. No, I shouldn't make artillery. Then I just get very, very attacked. How much horsepower is nuclear? Is 1 C horsepower equivalent to 1 horsepower? I wouldn't like to say. Oh, this is a thing I was going to do. That is a thing I was going to do. Because then we can use the copper that's coming in from over there for all of this stuff. And then I can put one of these in here. Feed that in there. And then cut off this. And yeah, use the one belt for making the circuits and one belt for making everything else in the factory. There you go. You can have a little bit of copper as a treat. Get rid of all of that. Extend that to there. Get rid of that. And then, there we go. Here come the bots with some of the belts. And that's the most important one. Good, glad that's in there. Right, so there we go. That's now we use. So that, yeah, the whole point of that, the reason there's 2 belts coming over here was so I could feed one of them into the circuit production system here, and then the other one could just top up the entire rest of the factory, the belt system. Given how empty this is, maybe I'm prioritizing this wrongly. Maybe it should be we should be using from the new patch, and then no, I think I don't know. It depends whether my thought is I want to empty this patch or I want to keep my factory running as efficiently as possible. And I seem to have gone for the I want to empty this patch answer. We'll sort that out at some point. Right, okay, that's enough frittering around the edges there. I think I'm going to call the end of the stream here. So as ever, if you're watching on Twitch, please stick around. We'll go and find somebody to raid. Otherwise, what's going on? Well, there'll be some videos coming out. Certainly a video coming out tomorrow. There's a little bit of a... I've not got quite as far through Friday's supporter video as I would have liked to have done because last weekend was ludicrously hot and I was trying to do some DIY and I just melted. So I've not done quite as much video production there, but hopefully I'll have it ready for the ready for Friday. And then we'll be back on Monday to stream some more Planetary Pioneers, so 7:30 PM UK time as usual, so I hope to see you all then. And I'll be back again next Wednesday when I'll be carrying on with this. My corpse has come to find me, that's nice of it. I'll grab that before I forget about it. Yeah, some more Planetary Pioneers next Monday at 7:30 UK, 7:30 PM UK time, and some more of this shenaniganery on Wednesday when I don't know. I feel like I'm sort of getting quite close to the end in that there is only one more science pack thing to make. However, I wouldn't put it past the game to come up with some weird nonsense that I need to deal with before I can do anything else. So, but the rocket silo is now within sight, so I need to do the rocket control unit. And then I need to discover something else. Oh, I need to do the pistol. Fine. We'll do the pistol then if you insist. And there's something else I need to discover that I don't know about yet. But eventually, I now have the rocket silo within sight. We'll see. I'll just keep ploughing through the rest of the researchers up here and see how things go. Yes, one more science pack. There's just space science left to go. They don't sound... You're right, they don't sound like actual seahorses. You're quite right. You're very welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you. Good night, Quagor. Good night, Bard Easy. Good night, Xfret. Yeah, so I'm very, very nearly there. A little nonsense now and then is cherished by the wisest men, indeed. Or I think it was wisest men, not finest men. But it's been a long time since I've seen that film. Is it Solid Stream anything like Solid Steam? I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I think the end is within sight, but I'm sure there's going to be a little bit more bemusement and confusion on the way to get to it. And I feel like I need to upgrade the blue circuit / lube production facility over here because there are blue circuits coming out, but they're getting eaten up pretty quickly. Although a lot of the reason they're getting eaten up quickly is because I started making modules, which may have been unnecessary and unwise. I don't know. We'll see. So, yes, we will see next week. Thank you very much for watching. Let's go and find somebody to raid. So, raid. Let's find somebody playing Factorio. And actually, let's switch over to the end screen like an actual professional streamer might. There we go. So do that. And somebody playing Factorio, please. And ideally in some sort of vaguely interesting way and without... And in English would be good too. Is there a... I can put tags English. That helps. Let's drop in on this guy. He's only got 2 viewers, but maybe that means I'll be more appreciated. Right, so once again, thank you very much, everyone who's been watching. I hope you've enjoyed the stream, and I'm sure you have, because otherwise you wouldn't still be here. Let's go off and raid Cut Zealand. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.